Kevin sink himself into Loot Lake. Now Loot Lake is all bouncy, and we've also vaulted the drum gun. So, I mean, it's going to be very different. It's going to be very different coming out of Summer Skirmish into now the Fall Skirmish. How do you think these changes are going to affect the game?
Yeah, I mean, the addition of the bouncy Loot Lake, the Shockwave Grenade, the Grappler, really the metagame has evolved, and this is so beautiful about Fortnite. And the most recent evolution is mobility, which I think adds an element of skill, an element of surprise, and just a much different layer of competitiveness to competitive Fortnite. I am so excited to see that in action for the first time here, and I'm glad a lot of these players are repping it. Just dropped yesterday, so we'll see it, I'm sure, in display quite a bit today. Meanwhile, over in Lucky Landing on the other side of the map here, looks like we have two different squads. Severin, who we had a chance to actually cast at PAX West. He was the Omega that played incredibly well at PAX West. Unfortunately, did not qualify for Monday, but a very, very strong European player, a good representative of the community. I'm excited to see what Severin and TS Chicken can do.
That's right. Something to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, when you're watching is if they have the same number, they're on the same team. So, example, Celery Airwalks, and just a really quick reiteration of the format there. So, you know, what do you think? Do you think players will play more for the Victory Royales? Do you think we're going to see players just kind of go full send and try to get eliminations? What do you think?
You know, honestly, both. And I hate to take the cop-out answer, but it's the reality. That's what's beautiful about Fortnite and competitive Fortnite. It really adheres to multiple play styles. If you like to play a little bit more passive, play for mid-game, play for late game, play for uncontested drops, you can. And there's a lot of variety of locations and POIs you could drop at that are viable. Meanwhile, if you're Ghost Aiden, if you're Nick Merckx and you like to get in the action, you could drop Tilted Towers and you could bang out with the best of them. So really awesome to see the variety of play styles. Meanwhile, over at Lucky Landing, looks like we still haven't seen this 2v2 fight conclude. So there's still going to be some action breaking down over here. We've seen some good action already as Solary already taken out, a spot that we had our eyes on coming into this this match.
That's right. We've seen the kill feed there. DK takes down Apostle. I mean, Apostle, the dapper gentleman himself. He likes to wear bow ties. I respect it. Taking a look here, we can also see this player here in Dusty Divot. So something to keep in mind as well with the live replay client is that you can actually see other players on the minimap in the top right. So definitely keep your eyes heading up there, see if there's other players around. But we'll keep you up to date with all the action. But look at this, man. Marin trying to track down these two players. We can see them through the wall again with that that replay client. I love it. Being able to see the outline, see kind of how players are moving, what weapons they've got out, things like that. It's pretty cool. Yeah, completely agreed. I mean, look at this scenario. We have two teams just on opposite walls. Meanwhile, on the top right of your screen, you'll see another team up at the Dusty Diner that was just added, hanging out up there. So we have three separate teams in this area, and still no eliminations picked up yet. It goes to show the amount of respect that these players have for one another. Of course, in a high-stakes private server format, we see the best, I mean the absolute best Fortnite gameplay, and it's really been a treat to watch so far in Summer Skirmish and kicking off Fall Skirmish as well. Look at this. This is just a fight waiting to break out Fallout. We've got, like you talked about, the teams up there at the old containers. We've got a team here. We've got two teams within. I mean, there's people all around there, and we now know where this new circle is. So a lot of players will probably start making their way into safe zones a minute before the storm starts to move. I mean, look at this. So what's interesting, Jetpacks only has two weapons, both of them ARs, and both of them actually share the same ammo type. Yep. So, I mean, as he's burning ammo, he's, I mean, you know, using up on the other one, but he immediately takes on a player there. Loot on the table, but
yeah, Jetpacks
also made a lot of noise.
Exactly, he does. Jetpacks responds to you and says, "Hey Zeke, all I need is an AR with 24 bullets," and I'm pick up some eliminations. He gets one right there. Should be able to pick up some weapons and some ammo as well. It looks like his teammate's actually going to swoop that up. So surprising, Jetpack still just repping that double.
But there's also, don't forget the club, so they can only play with club members.
Yep.
So that's something interesting to keep in mind.
In terms of duos and pairings all day long, yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, this format on top of the clubs is gonna change things very dramatically. Yep. We're gonna see things kind of unfold differently. And I think another cool thing to talk about is, Summer Skirmish was more about, honing in on fun, or rather the format and whatnot, and now we get to have a little more fun. We get to bring those formats back that people really liked, and then we get to do some new stuff with the clubs. So I'm really excited to see how that's going to change these 6 weeks. But boy, oh boy, a lot of action heating up. Look at this. We've got a grappler in play. I mean, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, I love the grappler. It is one of my favorite weapons, a great mobility tool, and it's just fun. You just fire it and you just go zipping around. You can do stuff like if you jump off a ledge, you can actually grapple the ground and zip yourself down and not take fall damage. There's so many cool little things you can do with it.
And we're just scratching the surface of what we're going to see out of that item. I'm really excited for that. And really, I think everyone loves the grappler unless it's being used against you. Because it's such a powerful item. A missed sniper shot right there, I believe. Not sure if he picked up the tag just right there. But
very close,
very close.
Fun fact, Harmy actually played at PAX.
No way.
Saw him, yeah.
A couple of Europeans making the trip. That's a long trip over to Seattle. So a lot of respect for our European competitors making the trek to Seattle to compete for, of course, the massive prize pool. $1.5 million prize pool is at PAX West. Another $10 million prize pool here for Fall Skirmish over 6 weeks. That, of course, will conclude at TwitchCon. Exciting things to come.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be so much fun. But look, Fallout, the Storm is making its way in. Now, players are going to start to get funneled a little bit, right? Now they're going to start making their way into the safe zone. What do you think is the play here, right? So, like, if you're one of these players on the outside of the map, do you just go in and you just, make a spot for yourself? You just kind of wait? What do you think?
Yeah, that was a key conversation. I know in talking to a lot of pro players at PAX West is the learning that you have to rotate early. I think that it's easier said than done. Everyone knows that they have to do it by textbook, but it's harder to do and actually in reality of the situation. But a lot of those players that are on the outskirts, that's typically where most people will lie. So by sitting on those outskirts, you put yourself at risk of running parallel to others and putting yourself in a pretty dangerous spot. I think the right play is to rotate early to center circle to not get caught in the mix here. And those players that are on the outskirts, we'll see if they can make it out alive.
And take a look at this Fallout. 80 players still left. I mean, there's still so many people left alive. So if this continues, I mean, we see a knock there in the kill feed there. But, man, if this continues, we're going to see some of these tighter circles just nonstop action.
Yep, that's for sure. Right in the face of Vitality, Mika. A couple shots can be picked up. He's going to lose his shield here. So a little bit damaged. No shield for Mika in this one. He's just going to actually break down the cover. Play a little more passive. Big fight going down. Archon goes for the flashy play. Going to get taken out. The Vitality duo going to pick up 2. Well played from them.
That was almost one of the craziest plays. So as you saw, he was mid-air, grapples over the enemy's head, almost zips across, but the enemy was waiting for it and picks off Amar. Man, oh man. Now here's the thing. They got to go find that grappler. I mean, you saw this guy's got a grapple. You got to go get it. You got to use it yourself. That's how it works.
That's 100% how it works. You have the passing of the torch, if you will. The passing of the grappler.
It's right there. Micah, look, turn around. Micah, no, don't leave it.
Does he not want it? Maybe he doesn't want it. From Vitality, of course. Vitality, French esports organization, one of the premier esports organizations over in Europe. And they're showing why right now with some two strong players on their side, on the Fortnite side at least. Meanwhile, Yoshi and Jules. It looks like they're in a 2v2 standoff situation. Meanwhile, a lot of fights taken on the Epsilon squad. Speaking of premier organizations in Europe, they're entering the scene as well towards Fatal Fields.
Look at this. This is a replay. So this was the replay from the fight we just saw from Micah. So look, Amar's mid-air. He zips over and immediately, look at that. Oh my gosh. Those are hard shots to make, man. Hard shots indeed.
It keeps the AR out rather than taking out the shotgun.
Yeah.
That's a bold play. Means he has trust and faith in his accuracy. Well shot from Mika in that one. Meanwhile, Skosis of AGO here. Just getting as many mats as they can. That's another big thing in these private server matches. You think it's easy to get mats. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
It always becomes an issue in late game is material and resource containment.
Yeah, I mean, especially as people start to tunnel, they start to fortify as much as they can. We'll have to see. Yeah, speaking of which, literally what we're seeing, but like you talked about, it's a great point, it's the shockwave grenade, man. That thing is going to change the way, and I hope we see a lot of it this time around in these coming weeks, because it's a game changer.
Yeah, well said. Meanwhile, on board with Martin here. I believe this is a replay situation over towards Dusty. Actually, no, I think this is a live fight as Mika and Roby are going to be in a pretty bad spot here. No high ground for them, and they're really in this fishbowl that is Dusty Divot. A couple good, well-placed walls right there from Method Martin. He's going to put some shots over on the Vitality squad who's just trying to retreat. They recognize they're not in the best situation. They want to get out of it.
And again, take a look. The Spectator client, man, it's super helpful. You're looking up at the top right, you can see all the duo teams very close by. I mean, everyone else, if you watch these little triangles, they're honing in on these shots. They hear these shots, and they're saying, look, we need to get in there. We need a third party or a look to clean up these fights because we need eliminations. We need these eliminations on the board.
Yeah.
4 to 5 is 1 point, right? And 1 point could be enough to put you in the top 10. So
exactly.
We'll
not only that, but this Vitality squad is, speaking of points, they're so close. You see the format on the radio screen, so close to picking up a few points here by eliminations. They've picked up a couple already. So let's see what they can do here. Big fight ensuing. 3. They can pick up the finalization here. Meanwhile, it is going to be Jetpacks that downs Roby and neutralizes. Now, 1 versus 1 situation. Jetpacks versus Mika, I believe. Couple good shots are going to be put in. Ultimately, it is Mika that comes out on top. 3 eliminations for Mika, a few for Roby, and that should net them some points.
Unbelievably well played there. Mika by himself now. I mean, you'll love to see it. If he can get 1 more, or rather 2 more eliminations, he's going to have a point on the. We're basically, it's a lot to ask for. I'll give you that, but it's worth it, right? A lot of these players are going to show up like Mika. I mean, we just saw him he's got 3 eliminations now. So if he has 1 more, that's 1 point. And even at PAX, we saw a lot of times where people would get so close. They get 1 elimination away from their first, second, third thresholds, and then they go down. And
you can see the look in their face afterwards. You have the beautiful webcams as well. And one addition to this format that I absolutely love is the Hold the Throne edition. Yeah. We saw Aiden drop, I believe, 18 eliminations in his nightly qualifier. I mean, playing out of his mind. But because there was no Hold the Throne in that feature, that format, he was, I think, ended up, 10th through 15th place in the final standings. So the addition of Hold the Throne gives you an opportunity to really rack up some extra points and rewards the eliminations even further, which I think is awesome for the overall balance of the game.
Absolutely, couldn't agree with you more.
And it means more eliminations that we get to see, so I'm not going to
That's true.
Take a look at the action from Mika's perspective here. We saw it from Jetpack's perspective, and look at that nice headshot. And the AR, sorry, make that a SMG, compact SMG finish there from Mika.
Yeah. Man, he's 1 elimination away from that first threshold, getting himself a point. And man, these points they're sparse. You get 3 points for Victorials, 2 points for second or third, and 1 point for fourth or fifth. And that's the thing, man. If you make it, let's say you make it a top 6 and you don't have any eliminations, that's great. You made it to top 6, but you don't have points. So it's I like that this format allows players to kind of play to their strengths, right? You can either play, look, I go full send, I get eliminations, that's great, you're going to get points. Or I like to make my way to the final 6, I like to play very slow, very methodically, and I'm going to make decisions that matter. That's awesome. You're also going to get yourself points. So it's a really cool format. I've enjoyed this. And again, you mentioned earlier the Hold the Throne. Whoever has the most eliminations at the end of the game holds the throne. So that's just 2 points. They're up for grabs. I mean, during the summer skirmish, actually, during the Hold the Throne week, we saw people stealing the points left and right. So we'll have to see how that happens now. But Fnatic, Etnix, and Jarl go down.
Oh, wow. So both members of Fnatic out of the count here. Meanwhile, on board with Madsen. And look at the amount of 1x1s built up here. It is training day right now for these individuals. They're just posting up and trying to get some long-range shots off.
Look, I just want to point this out. There's 64 players left alive. Fallout. There's 64 players left in this game right now. Look at this. Look at how, first of all, look how evenly everyone's spread out, right? They're at basically long range, or just about, and they're waiting. No one's taking shots, right? No one's building. Everyone's just waiting. They're waiting for that moment when the storm comes in, forces players together. They're looking to clean up a few eliminations as they can, and then once we get the new storm circle, they're going to have to move.
Exactly. You know what that means, though, is my favorite part as a caster and as a viewer, madness is about to ensue. 64 people, and look at how many players in one area right now. You already know fights are about to ensue. It's about to go down. Of course, the addition of shockwaves, porta fortresses are really going to help promote the fights in the end game. I'm really excited to see how the action breaks down.
Look at how many players are. I mean, look, Lei is right next to Yuke's. They're like 1 grid space away from each other. We've got players all over the place, and it's still at 64. Nothing has happened. But like you talked about, the madness is about to happen. We get a new circle. All right, so now this is where players start. They make the decision. Do I move now? Is it too soon? Do we just need to go secure a spot? What do you think these players are thinking right now?
Yeah, in this scenario, again, early rotation, the early bird gets the worm. I think could ever be more true when it comes to rotation. So what that means for those at home, a rotation means how fast you rotate and move to the center of the circle, the next storm or the next circle. And it looks like a couple players are going to do exactly that. Meanwhile, big fight going down here. Finally, the madness ensues. And it looks like Harmy and Co. go down. Lou gets taken out as well. One Splode took out 3 members. I'm not sure if that was 3 limbs for 1. We'll, of course, get the updated scoreboard for you guys as soon as we can and towards the end of the game. But from 64 to 59 in the blink of an eye here, and look how small this last circle is. It's going to go down here in just a moment. And of course, we are an anti-gravity end game here. I absolutely love it, just like we saw at PAX West, which is so entertaining. It's going to be an interesting end game, that's for sure.
That's right. So we kind of saw some of this play out during PAX, but these grav zones, if you don't know, they're basically these anti-gravity zones, right? You can hop around and it's almost like you're on the moon, right? So if you jump off a large structure, you're just going to float down very gently, but you're also, while jumping normally, you're going to be moving very slowly in an arc. So it actually makes it very easy for players. If they have like a hunting rifle, they can actually really easily take you out of the air.
Yep.
Just because of how...
a little bit vulnerable if you can't build very efficiently. Meanwhile, rotation's coming through. It looks like Jules is going to get a down on Svenos. So Svenos, a big name on the European seed. He goes down, not out just yet, but on board with Ali Gamers for now, who seems to be in a pretty safe spot here.
There's still so many players that fall. We've only gone from 64 to 56. We saw one player go down. And look, the silenced AR, we talked about it. We're seeing it now. Ollie has it, but look at all these players. Just watch their health bars. Noisy up top goes down there. There's shots left and right. We just heard the sound of remote explosives. I mean, this is going to get really claustrophobic very quickly.
Yeah, indeed. Ali Gamer's in a pretty good spot here just to stay alive and value his life. Meanwhile, looks like a member of Ghost Gaming representing here today, Train H Sops. Looks like he's going to get tagged up pretty hurt right now, trying to just stay alive and use that last mini shield in that campfire to get back to at least more of a desirable HP position.
Man, there's so many people fall out. It's only down to 52 still. This is crazy. There's so many people packed in this tiny spot. And now look, where the new safe zone is down on the lower half of the map now. So some players are already there. They're good to go. But that means for everyone else, they have to start making these rotations.
Yeah, one thing that's really interesting, maybe it's a European versus North American thing, but you don't really see many layers of elevation and verticality. You see that very often in the North American side, where players will build high, and you'll see kind of a high ground, a mid ground, and a low ground, 3 separate fights that exist. Meanwhile, everyone, for the most part, low to mid ground here, which means we're going to see a crazy battle on this rotation. Looks like it is Carnifex who's just sneaking his way over to that hill, or that next circle, in a pretty good spot right now, but expect madness to ensue here. I want to see some players build for high ground and try to create a second layer a little bit higher up to give themselves a vertical advantage.
Man, Paul, this is getting intense. This is just 50 players. We've got 38 seconds left before this storm starts to move. And now everyone is literally going to be funneled in through the same spot, that northeast corner of the circle there. I mean, look, there's already a flood of people there. And don't forget, this is duos. So it's not just like 1 or 2 players. This is literally duo squads moving in troves. So we're going to see this action heat up very quickly. We're going to see the lobby probably go from like 46, I'd assume, down to 20, maybe even less.
And look at you're right. Look at the mini map. I mean, it's all those triangles in one tiny area. It is awesome. You love to see this late game, how intense it is. One slight misstep could cost you your life in an instant. It's all about the flick of the wrist and the quick shotgun shots around the corner. We'll see who comes out on top with those. Meanwhile, looks like the rotation is going to come through. 35 seconds left until the storm will collapse in its new environment. Finally, people are building up towards high ground like madmen. Keep in mind, resource management in a very good spot here is this Black Knight with resources, almost 1,000. What he's going to pick up an elimination. That's Dementos, the man himself.
He takes down someone there. We're down to 45. Only one player's gone down in the time we talked. Now Ollie here is drawing a bead, but can he make these eliminations? Keep in mind, everyone, they're fighting for eliminations. 4 eliminations gets them a point on the board. They need these points, or they need to make top 5 if they hope to score points coming out of this first game, rather.
Yeah. And Ollie's a prime example. 0 eliminations right now. So Ollie playing purely for placement. Ollie can pick up some key eliminations right now. But I like what I'm seeing out of the secret squad. Dementos, of course, the young man who we saw perform in Summer Skirmish and in past events. Holding high ground. He's going to lose that high ground with the bounce pad here. Just going to build himself a nice box and a nice square to survive here. But Solari Hunter picking up some nice kills. Eliminations.
Looks like his teammate has gone down there. He's about to fall. He has no health. There he goes. So now Dementos is by himself. But look at all these players everywhere. I mean, we see players going down left and right. Someone down there, down below. 2 players down there. I mean, this is getting absurd. Now, the Skype goes down. I mean, you literally just hear nonstop bullets. That's what you're hearing. Gunfire literally everywhere as people are... I mean, keep in mind, they're 1 or 2 grid spaces away. This player goes down as well. I mean, look, oh, there was a rift there. Someone used a rift.
Wow. But
Hex couldn't get there in time, so they're going to be allowed to reposition while in midair. Oh, we've got a grappler out as well. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about a grappler in these situations.
Game. Unbelievable. It is absolute warfare, absolute madness. You called it perfectly. I liked what I saw. I believe it was actually this squad here that held high ground, was able to get a nice headshot elim immediately on whoever that was peeking for just a moment. So if you team fire, and one thing we're talking about often is team firing in duos can be very efficient. Looks like the jump head's going to be missed there.
Oh,
no!
Oh,
Finally
gosh.
hits it. He should be okay.
Oh,
No.
Lothar goes down. He's lost in the storm. Windwalker took the L. Now we're down to 26 players. This lobby is very quickly getting thinned out. Oh my gosh, even look at the different elevations. I mean, oh, look, the grappler. We talked about it in these situations. Come on, make the shot. Look at this. You're just very quickly able to navigate these fights. And look, he lands on a med
kit.
What? Okay, so
Merry Christmas,
grapplers. My, oh my. This is changing this endgame as we know it.
Absolutely love it. I'm looking to see who has a Shockwave or a Porta Fortress, because that would be massive in this late game scenario. You could easily, especially with the bounce pads of the Porta Fortress, you could easily get someone outside of the storm and make some plays there. Impulse grenades, of course, playing a big impact as well. No eliminations picked up as of yet. Finally, it's going to be 7, SSK 7 picking up 1. Hunter grabs another here in the Solari squad. Is heating up.
Oh my gosh. You know what I didn't even think about as well is with the addition. So if you're new to Fortnite, what we call it owning the wall. It means that you've placed this piece of structure down and you have rights to edit it. So as you look, Solari looked at this wall and it means it's red. That's not his wall. He can't edit it. Now with the Porta Fortress Edition, if you drop that when everyone's built around you, you own all those walls. You literally just consume everyone's structures around you, and then you have rights to edit everything. I need to see a Porta Fortress.
That is a beautiful point, especially in this late game. So talk about ownership and possession. You can get possession of this entire circle with the Porta Fortress. It is that massive of a structure of a unit. Not only that, but you knock everyone potentially completely out of the circle, into the storm, and in a very dangerous spot. If anyone held on to that Porta Fortress, we saw it way earlier. I'm not sure which team that was and if they still have it in their possession, but that would be a game changer. Look at that high ground. Number 32 there. And look at this grenade launcher being used, so some GLs are going to come through here. Not going to connect for exploded elim just yet, but nicely placed right there from Hunter.
Oh, that's a grenade. Oh my gosh, a grenade just came in there. Solari Kinstar goes down. Jam side got him. SSK has eliminated Kinzel there. Windstrike Meow eliminates Hex. 10 players left. I mean, look at this player. They have 6 eliminations, Fallout. If they get 2 more, that's 3 points. Hunter is on fire right now, just capitalizing every moment when he can. Yep. Again, we're down to 10 players.
In the Solari squad, we talked about him a little bit in the pregame, performing so far. 6 elims, down to top 5 in players as well. Keep in mind, look at the right of your screen here. 2nd and 3rd place will get you 2 points. You want to survive for that 2nd place finish or 3rd place finish.
Down to, so look at this. Things are just happening left and right. Down to 7. Again, back over to Hunter. He has 6 eliminations. That in itself is huge. That's 2 points can hit the board. If he even just waits till 1 more elimination, that's going to be 1 point coming out for making just a top 5. I mean, oh, do you see the shockwave grenade?
Oh my goodness. Is it on the ground? Yeah,
it's right there.
Okay. Is he going to be able to grab it, though? He's going. He knows he needs it.
Yes.
He's going to grab it. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go. No, he's not going to get it off. Can you believe it? Then he gets the elim with the trap right after.
Oh, but he's okay. So he did find elimination. There's 4 players left in the game. The circle is closing and everyone's falling down.
Sorry, Rip to go here.
Oh, someone goes down. Okay, so this is it. We've got 4 players left. 1 is down. I believe we're going to go to a heal off. It's happening. Oh no, G-Master doing everything he can. There's a player there. Wait.
Wow.
Wait, he didn't realize it. He literally landed on top of G-Master. He did not realize it.
That was his teammate.
No, it wasn't. It was someone else.
Oh,
it was a different number.
He got the elim on.
He landed and took down the player on the right. So that means Bowman taking it to a heal off.
Wow.
With 3 eliminations on the board. So keep in mind, he does not meet the 4 elimination threshold. But man, he gets a victory out. That's 3 points on the board. Now, here's the thing. Don't forget, these eliminations are totaled per team, so per duo. So if the duo can find 4 eliminations, I mean, if Bowman's teammate has 1 elimination, that's an additional point. That's 4 points to start off here on game 1. And don't forget, we also have the hold the throw mechanic. Whoever has the most eliminations, whatever duo team, they're going to have those 2 floating points for free. I mean, what a game 1.
An unbelievable finish to that one as well. You called it perfectly. He drops, doesn't realize that someone is healing center. Well played right there across the board. What an end game. I mean, the fact that we had 64 people alive in the 3rd to last circle, 2nd to last circle before the rotating circle. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I mean, we saw a lot of things, right? We saw the likes of the grappler. That's that new addition we talked about just after PAX. We saw how dynamic.
Yeah, so close, but so far.
Oh, talk to me about that. What implications would that have had?
Game changer. I mean, just one split second. That's what you love about Fortnite, is a split-second decision, a split-second opportunity would have made the difference between death or being able to completely disrupt all cover, potentially knocking people to their fall damage into their death, surviving longer, and making a complete difference in that final circle. I mean, once again, if he would have gotten that shockwave off, we would have seen a much different endgame right there.
That was crazy. I mean, you guys at home, what do you think about all the action? This is only one game. We have 5 more games to go. Don't forget to hit us with the hashtag Fall Skirmish. Let us know how you're enjoying the action. Tweet at us. Let us know how you're enjoying Fallout. I mean, this guy's incredible. I'm just going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep reminding you about it because you need to know this. But, dude, that was crazy. I think the only thing that I would have liked to see potentially done differently is a Loot Lake ending. I'm just saying, let's go to Loot Lake. Bouncy.
That would be amazing. We did have a little bit of an anti-gravity ending, which was nice, but Loot Lake bouncy ending, if it happens in one of our 12 games tonight across North America and Europe, I will be a happy camper.
That's right. We've also got some replays to take a look at coming in from this first game. I mean, this was crazy. This was honestly like exactly what I wanted to see, just action coming out the gates. And you touched on it, but the fact that we got to one of those, like, I think it was third circle, and we had 64 players left.
Yep.
That's absurd. So do you think that that's attributed to, like, first game jitters, or you think everyone is like, no, we know what we're doing. We're just looking to survive here? Like, what do you think we're seeing pan out?
I would go with the former. I think it's more of first game jitters. You know, your first week of Fall Skirmish, a lot on the line here. There's a lot at risk. You're going to play a lot more passive of a game. We saw it at PAX West. Players that we're used to seeing playing mega aggressive, Tempo, Jailmock, a lot of these players, Bowman, Severin on the European side, played a lot more passive in their game style. There's a lot more at stake here, and you're going to see people play a lot more passive because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and don't forget the clubs. You know, players are looking to try and get points for their clubs. If they score high, especially here during the competitive aspect, they're going to get these points on top of the weekly trials that they get to participate in during the week. I mean, Fall Skirmish, man, it's huge. We're back, bigger, badder than ever. I mean, I just don't even what are you hoping to see? Do you want to see anything done differently? What are you hoping to see, like, in Game 2? Yeah. If there's one thing you're like, I need to see this seek, or even in the next 5 we have to play, what's one thing you're hoping to see?
You know, there's a lot to like about competitive Fortnite, but and I hate to keep harping and bringing it back up, but a Porta Fortress or a Shockwave in that end game, we were so happy for the additions of those items. I would absolutely love to see some sort of mobility item that can completely change the landscape of that end game. Shockwave or Porta Fortress end game, someone hold on to it, please, for the sake of me and Zeke.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we touched on it a little bit, but owning a wall, right? If you can make an edit on a wall, you have advantage. If there's someone on the other side of a wall and you make a peek and you have a window, that means you have first shot opportunity, right? You just very quickly edit this window, and now you can take the shots. With the Porta Fortress, especially when people are this close to each other when one by ones, you're just like, all right, this whole space is down mine. If you're outside the zone, you can't make your way in. Keep in mind, the Porta Fortress is instant. It's an instant build. So it's not like where you build a wall and there's time for it to fill up on its HP. It's done once it goes down. So it's like, if you're, especially in those moments where everyone has low HP, and they're like, we have to get in from the storm. I have 30 HP. You just put a Porta Fortress down.
I love that point. I'm not going to lie, Zeke. This is why you are the man. I never even thought about that as an opportunity for that late game. You know, keep in mind, a lot of live server games don't get so crazy in the end game like that. But beautiful point. That's why it's a legendary item, unlike its predecessor, the Porta Fort, which is only a rare item. But I'm really interested to see what happens with that Porta Fortress. A couple other things I want to see that we saw a little bit of in game number 1. I loved the gameplay out of Vitality Mika. It was beautiful mid-round play, nice rotations as a duo partner. The fact that we're watching duo play here, it's my first time having a chance to cast highly competitive duo play. I've casted a lot of solo matches in the past. I want to see some great teamwork, a variety of plays, and some bait and switch opportunities like we saw from the Vitality duo and a couple other duos. So the Solary squad, of course, playing incredibly well in that end game, getting second place as well. I'm really excited for those mid-game fights, those early game fights that we saw some action of in game number 1.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, these are highly competitive players. It's not like these are just pub stomps, right? We're not just sitting them out in the live environment. We're putting a lot of the best players in the world together in one lobby. That's why we're seeing things like 64 players left in a lobby. That doesn't happen.
I just played a duo game a couple minutes ago. That didn't happen to me. Of course, much different environment here with the best players in the world competing. That's why you love Fall Skirmish here, because you get to see the best of the best go at it for quite a bit of money.
Oh my gosh, and this is just EU. I mean, later on today, we're going to have 6 games for NA.
Yep.
We still have 5 games left to play today. I mean, dude, what more could you ask for? What about the clubs? Guys, don't forget, tweet at us, what's the hashtag, Fall Skirmish, and definitely rep your club. I mean, remember, don't forget about these submissions. Fallout made his formal submission, so you need to send me your formal submission, okay? I want to let me know why you should be in which club and why. It better be good. We also saw a player, so we talked about it, he got a tattoo. Literally, so we made the announcement to the clubs. We said, you could submit, and literally within an hour, someone went out and got a Fortnite's tattoo. Like, he tattooed
Unbelievable.
the logo on his arm.
Amazing.
I was just like, wow.
Yeah, talk about the passion of the Fortnite community.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unlike anything you've seen. A tattoo within an hour. And, of course, that's the first of the likes of what we've seen. We still have, I believe, a week left of submissions. We're going to see some awesome things. So get creative out there. If you're from Europe and you want to compete in the European Fall Skirmish, there's some spots available with your submission. Get creative. Have some fun with it. But ultimately, I hope I become a lucky llama.
There you go. Again, don't forget, he has submitted his formal submission. So if you think he should be part of the Lucky Llamas, let us know with the hashtag Fall Skirmish. That's right. I have to keep saying this, so remember, because
thank you.
I keep wanting to say Summer Skirmish. It's fall. Fall
We have
skirmish
changed
time.
seasons.
We have.
Yeah,
we
just
have.
take a look outside. Do you see? Actually, we're
So
here in LA.
beautiful
You don't
here.
really see.
Out in Burbank, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, North Carolina though.
Yeah, oh well. Yeah, it's also pretty there too. But I'm not there right now. I'm out in LA, so
There you go.
I'll be back there soon. But dude.
Yeah, and talk about the difference in Fall Skirmish between Summer Skirmish. You had a chance to cast just about every single week of Summer Skirmish. What are some of the differences here? Of course, we talked about clubs, but what else are we going to see here in Fall Skirmish?
The fun thing is, obviously, we've got the different formats lined up for everybody. We saw a lot of formats kind of being used last for the Summer Skirmish, as you talked about. That was an 8-week circuit. Now we're doing 6 weeks. So we've got a few things in store. Don't forget to check out the blog we have on Fortnite.com. That's got a bunch of the details as far as what the format will be for the week. So we want to let you guys, we're going to be transparent about things, right? We want to let everyone know about the formats well in advance, on top of the trials during the week. I mean, that's something that you at home should definitely be tuning into during the week, as it's like, what's the first one? I don't
Squad goals.
Squad goals.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
awesome.
I immediately, when I said this in my head, my first thought was, ATK racing. And this is a thing that we'll see later down the road.
That's how excited you are.
ATK racing.
Oh, yeah.
Someone told me about this, and I was like, dude, I'm not gonna get any work done that week. That's just not gonna happen. I'm gonna watch.
You be playing or watching?
I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna watch my favorite streamers participate in ATK racing.
Yeah, you know,
oh yeah.
You got the likes of CDN, Requiem, High Distortion. They've been doing this for quite some time now. I think they used to do a shopping carts first before the racetrack was what it was. That's when it was a little bit of a dirt road. And then of course with the addition of season 5, I believe, maybe even season 4. It was season 5. We did see the new and improved racetrack, and we get to see some highly competitive ATK races. I am so excited for that. Squad goals, particularly for me, is what's coming up next week, and I'm really, really stoked for that too. And I got to say, my hat goes off to Epic Games for this format and this structure because it's brilliant. It really is. You get high play, competitive Fortnite that we all know and love every single Friday. Nothing changes there, and not only that, but it's improving week over week. But then you get the variety and the addition of entertaining streams throughout the week to keep you entertained all week long from your favorite streamers. We get to see the likes of High Distortion, Nick Merckx, all these guys teamed up with one another and playing in squads during the week to rack up more points to their clubs. And, of course, an ongoing tally of club points throughout the entire 6 weeks. I mean, it's just a brilliant format, and I'm so excited for what that looks like. If you have not yet, as Zeke mentioned, make sure to go to that blog post on the Epic Games website to read all the details because there's a lot there that's really, really exciting.
Yeah, man. I mean, and just to touch on it again, it's not just a, X amount of people win the game and take away a prize pool. At the end of the 6 weeks, it's an entire club. So we get to see high-level competitive play, but we also get to see the other content creators come together and have a great time and also walk away with prizes. So everyone wins.
That's amazing.
Even you at home. So please, don't forget to use a hashtag. I mean, this is just so much fun.
Amazing.
I mean, being able to be part of this and hanging out with you, Fallout. Now we're into game 2. I mean, it's just been so much fun. We hope you guys at home are having a great time. Don't forget to let us know what you think. And Fallout, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, my heart is racing after game 1. And then we have to go into game 2. We have 5 more games to watch. This is one of them. I don't know that my heart can take it.
You and I both. And game number 2 here, of course. And as Zeke said, we'd love to hear what you thought about game number 1. I'll be checking Twitter on my end, hashtag Fall Skirmish, and tweet at us as well so we can see those tweets and read some of them off maybe throughout the broadcast. But here we go. Game number 2. We saw hundreds of Fortnite community members rewarded with cash prizes in Summer Skirmish. We're going to see hundreds more with Fall Skirmish, and I cannot be more excited here. Kicking off game number 2 here on the European Fall Skirmish Week number 1 opener.
Man, oh man, again, we're going back to this overhead view, the eye in the sky. Hopefully a lot of these people thank their battle bus driver.
Please
you need to do that. It's exactly. He works day in and day out, so definitely thank the bus driver. But I mean, look at this. We see people kind of breaking off. We saw some people landing what looked like toward Dusty Divot, and it's a lot of players are making their way over to the west half of the map. Some have even touched down. Marijuana and Incline here at Lucky landing. It looks like there is only one other team here.
Wow. So actually it was Severn that went down early. We saw him make it to the late game last time around. This time won't be so lucky. They're all going to drop in the multi-flat apartments and get taken out as a result here. Marijuana does a great job picking up one on Severn to kick things off. I believe in that one.
Absolutely. And I mean, even taking a look at the minimap, I mean, Tilted Towers is only being occupied by one duo. That's crazy.
Unbelievable. No one's going tilted.
You know what's interesting is I like seeing the differences between NA and EU. So we see EU, they go more to these opposite hotspots. Yeah, they make other areas hotspots, whereas we see NA, they value things like Tilted Towers, Paradise Palms. EU's different, man. They like to change it up, and they go full send.
Yeah,
so I'm really excited to see what they're going to, the performances they're going to put on.
Yeah, well said. And speaking of being excited, I'm excited to be watching this man for the first time.
Tinny.
FlyQuest Tinny. He is someone that joined the FlyQuest roster in August. He was the first addition to FlyQuest venture into Fortnite, or competitive Fortnite. A content creator, a competitor on the European side, coming from the UK. I'm really stoked to see what Tinny can do under the FlyQuest brand.
I really hope to meet him someday because I've watched him with Summer Skirmish, and he just seems like a chill dude. He's excellent at the game.
Yep.
I mean, what more could you love?
Yeah.
What more could you love?
He's playing with Crabble from the Mouse Esports organization, so a solid duo right here. And look at that. 2 shockwave grenades are ready for FlyQuest Tinny. Really excited to see what he can do.
Back over to Micah. We saw him last game. I mean, he racked up eliminations like crazy. And as you can see here, he's trying to make his way over to Duncan. He's got 1 elimination already under his belt. So I'm assuming he's taken down Duncan's teammate.
Oh, missed shot. Opportunity there from Duncan. He's going to get tagged up pretty weak here. Micah going to take out Duncan, who in my opinion there, Zeke, had the advantage in the fight. Goes to show how strong of a player Micah is in that scenario. Still able to come out on top with the support of Roby. That duo continues to perform here in the early game. They love this drop over towards Risky Reels, and I'm loving what I'm seeing out of this Vitality duo.
That's right, and they're basically the only ones occupying this Risky Reels area right now. There's teams around close by in Wailing Woods. We've got the likes of Tomato Temple, even Lazy Lynx. We'll have to see how this develops further. I mean, take a look at the map there.
Can you believe, and there you go, you get to see what you mentioned earlier. Only 2 people, 1 duo, get the entirety of loot in Tilted Towers. That is unbelievable.
That's very dangerous
theft right there.
That's actually dangerous. That's too much loot. Someone needs to get in there and try and shut them down because they're going to walk away with everything.
It's gonna be massive. So I'm excited to see that'll be a developing story here. Is what that Tilted Tower duo can do in that area of the map. Meanwhile, you see other areas of the map here. It can be Roby and Micah picking up some resources as early as possible here before they're gearing up for a rotation over towards Tomato Temple. But keep in mind, they're in the circle, a favorable circle initially for them. I think we're going to see the Vitality duo go the distance here.
That's right. I mean, even taking a look at the map, you've got people as far as Flush Factory, even Junk Junction. Wow. So there's a lot of players on the very edges of the map that have to start making these early rotations. We've got a minute before the storm starts to move in. So they've got time, but like you talked about, man, they have to start making these early rotations, and they have to start saying, you know, what do we value more, a little more loot, or do we want to find a spot where we can hold up?
Yep. Yeah, and right now, actually, given this current situation, we're looking at our mini-map here. It's going to be some time until we see some fights ensue. A lot of folks are just looting up by themselves. Not a lot of action right now, which is nice. We get a chance to breathe after that crazy game number 1. Of course, as I say that, though, member of Ghost Gaming in a big fight over towards Dusty Divot. Looks like it's going to be City Driver that does have high ground. He's editing low now, but a big fight's about to ensue. He's
fighting the likes of Carnifex and Ukes. Ukes, I mean, this guy is a Summer Skirmish all-star. We saw him all Summer Skirmish long. You'll love to see him. He always rocks the same skin with the wings. And now he's trying to take him down. Oh, but in a 2v1 situation, Ghost Isa drops super low. He almost managed to down Isa in the process. Man, oh man. And again, this is not too far away from the Vitality team we saw. I mean, things are heating up here.
Yep, that's for sure. Moving our way over to ONF Evil. He has high ground right now, so he's going to take a nice chunk of fall damage there. So slight misplay, but it's actually airwalks. Again, the Solary roster is just playing very passive right now. He knows he has 2 members near him, but I don't know if Evil and Co. know that he's there.
So how do you think the dynamic of like a duo changes up the game, right? Like, obviously, if it's solos, it's every man for himself. But what opportunities and even disadvantages do you have in duos?
Yeah, in my opinion, the more the merrier in terms of opportunities. I love the dynamic it adds to the game. It really gets to showcase and highlight players like Poach, who are great communicators, great rotators, Vivid as well, very similar in that, the Team Liquid squad. And I think it brings out the best in a lot of players. It also adds a different element to the game where you have bait and switch opportunities. There's a variety of teamwork that's added. So I love the addition of duos here in fall skirmish. And look at this, nothing but stink bombs for Airwalks. He damaged up quite significantly.
Grenades. He's already looked like he's dropped a little bit, just a quarter of his health, which isn't too bad, all things considered. But now he's in a situation. He's in a 1v2. And look at this, a really great stink bomb there. But now he's in the face of High Styled. And High Style says, not today, Airwalks. I'm going to shut you down, my friend.
Yeah, and I like how he played that. I think it was the member of Solary there that was expecting him to drop, but he actually had a nice clean edit that allowed him to get a nice surprising elimination there. So well played right there. And it looks like now a big fight going down. It's going to be the Vic in a fight against Marcod in this one.
I mean, again, we've seen both of these players compete during Summer Skirmish Series, and now they are facing off. And look, someone else joins the fray. Someone else is trying to vulture these eliminations. It's Gabby TV. Now, look, Vic's trying to close in. He's trying to secure this to make sure he can get the points for it. There you go. Him and his teammate. There you go. So they now have an additional. He has 3 eliminations under his belt. If his teammate has even just 1, they've got a point on the board. This is crazy. And again, don't forget with this spectator client, taking a look at the top right of the minimap, we give you more information. So now you can take a look at all the little triangles. Those are other teams. So not only can you say, all right, well, they've made a lot of noise, but you can actually look up the top right and say, hey, look, these are the triangles. They're closing in. They've heard it. They want some of the action, too. Yep,
and I love it. Being a spectator of Fortnite is almost like being a player. You got to be as aware of your UI and your environment as you are when you're playing the game, which is awesome. A very engaging spectator experience thanks to this beautiful online spectator mode that we've seen Epic debut and improve upon every single week. So awesome stuff there. Meanwhile, bottom left of your screen, you saw Micah of Vitality will continue to tell that story. He picks up another elimination. So the Vitality roster, who's known to pick up some high eliminations, continues to roll here.
High Styled and Evil very close to Skype there. We just saw High Styled take down Airwalks. So now, I mean, again, taking a look at the minimap, you can see they're kind of, they may not necessarily know that they're there, right? They're not making enough noise, but they're very close to each other. It takes one person to make a misstep or take a shot, and then very quickly you could start zeroing in on people. So taking a look at this replay, Makey TV goes down.
There it is. Well played right there. Meanwhile, jumping back to the action. And one thing I just noticed, someone had, so a blue pump here, someone had a blue tactical shotgun. And one thing that's interesting about the shotgun meta right now is the variety of playstyles that you're allowed to have as a shotgun user. Some people really prefer that tactical shotgun. I know Nick Merckx loves that tac shotgun. Of course, everyone knows how powerful the double barrel shotgun is right now, but unlike most weapons, which kind of tier up, of course, before the Magnum was removed, sorry, the revolver was removed, it kind of tiered up to a hand cannon and so on and so forth. The shotgun really has 2 separate, distinct styles of play. The pump tiers up into a heavy. You have the double barrel and the tactical shotgun, which are really 2 separate styles of play as well. So you love to see the shotgun meta right now in Fortnite.
Now, do you think that has shifted a little since we've we've vaulted the drum gun, and then like you're saying, we introduced the double barrel, and there is on top of that different types of double barrels. We also have seen changes to the SMGs. We saw now they don't have first shot accuracy. We've seen a reduction in clip size. Do you think that that's shifted the meta a little bit? Do you think we're seeing people do you think we're seeing people come back to the shotgun, or you think there's kind of like there's still diversity? It's like some people still opt to go close range with the shotgun. Some people like to go mid-range with the SMGs. What do you think?
Yeah, it's added diversity. I think you're exactly right. Whereas everyone was kind of forced to play the SMG spam meta previously, especially with the drum gun in existence, now you get to choose. If you want to use the shotgun, it's in a much better spot. Of course, the double barrel very, very strong in that conversation, but it does add variety, and it does add a nice little mixture to the bunch. I think, oh, look at this. Nice port of Fortress.
That's a Fortress, baby.
It is.
And as you saw, he immediately has to disengage because now they own this entire space. They're able to hop up with those tires, and now make here on the back foot.
Look how damaged. He just has some bandages. Finally, you take out those bandages and use them. Wise decision here, and a nice. Speaking of a fortress within a fortress. Here, looks like the old Renaissance days as he's castled up here on top of the fortress and sitting. on his steed is in a pretty good position right now. Meanwhile, the Fnatic duo, Fnatic, of course, very reputable organization over on the European side of esports with a lot of history. These two at Nyx and Jurl have a big responsibility.
They have, oh my gosh, so they have the shockwave grenades. And look, you're always trying to disengage right now. Man, but they punish him for that. They punish him for that. Now, here's the thing. The Stormers need to move. They need to disengage. And now, I mean, the fact that he drop them both pretty low means they're gonna, if they're not fast, they're gonna start taking storm damage. I mean, look at him. He's even kiting them back. The shockwave grenade sends him flying, but Jarl gets knocked with the rifle at 61 meters. Unbelievable.
I absolutely love what we just saw out of Mr. Kuroro. I'm not sure if he has an organization, but if you're an org watching right now, I'm liking the gameplay. 1 versus 2, had 3 HP, built high enough to get himself some bandages and back to health, and was able to pick up an elimination on the rotation. Well played from him in a 1 versus 2.
Noisy versus Ruben Senpai here. They're going for high ground. Both super low, but Senpai secures the elimination there on Noisy. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Noisy and Rasmussen, so double elimination there for Senpai. That's huge. And in a pure 1 versus 2, Senpai comes out on top. Again, you love that about Fortnite. I know I keep deferring to it, but you just love to see the ability to outskill someone and lose a fight where you have a numbers disadvantage.
Here's something else. We just watched the grappler, so we saw him, Svenos, use it to get out of the storm, which is good. Something unbelievable is that Svenos has the thermal AR. We've seen Svenos is, I mean, he's just pinpoint accurate.
Legend.
If you give him this weapon, he's going to put it to work, and he's going to take down eliminations at range. I mean, I'm talking max range. Oh, wow. Jam side falls down and falls to their elimination. I was going to say their death, but I guess they didn't die just yet. Yeah. But look, Unique and Clyde, Marana just on the other side. The Vic is very close by. I mean, look, again, this Spectre client is huge for information. You can just constantly tell where players are, which is good.
And now what's interesting is no one got the knock or the down there. He knocked himself. So no one was really truly aware that he was down. That's why you have to be very, very attentive to the bottom left of your screen. If you see that that person got downed, you know someone's down somewhere on the map. Maybe you can hear it as well. You can take advantage and capitalize. But if you're not paying attention, you can miss an easy double elimination opportunity as the revive was being picked up right there. Cold turkey.
Yeah, and take a look. So Svenos is here with his duo partner. There's 3 duos here total. Taboo is one that's very close by. He's down. You can see him crawling there. That is teammate is Blackso over there. Now Svenos again has a grappler. We're gonna have to see how he utilizes this because I mean he can very quickly traverse terrain if he needs to.
Yep. But I love his loadout too. Double barrel into an SMG, and of course that thermal for long range. He can use that SMG for a slight mid range as well. It's kind of well balanced at distance right now.
I just want to see a grappler into a point blank double barrel. That's what I want to see.
A little boogie bomb action here. Svenos is dancing and having some fun, but it's not going to matter. He's going to pick up the elimination. Nice job by Svenos, despite throwing in some dance moves, able to come out on top in that one. Our first boogie bomb action here. I feel like we should have like an alarm that goes off or something.
Anytime there's a boogie bomb.
Anytime there's a boogie, or maybe we have to dance. I don't know. We're gonna get creative here.
We'll get creative. Yeah. But look, man, they have no healing. So Svenos and his duo partner have to make their way into the safe zone while currently being shot at, which is tough. Look at this, the grappler, man. I love this mobility tool so much. Look at this. You just cover so much ground so quickly.
And he's using that pretty, not too sparingly. You know, he's not in danger of the storm. He only has 2 left. I would like to see him use those a little more wisely in that situation. But going to build himself a nice 1x1. Look how quick he builds that 1x. As now, he's going to be just trying to heal up in this scenario. Only attached by 1 floor right now, though. So
yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. He was fine in the 1x there. I guess because he was against the tree, he maybe opted to move over. Yep. But like you're saying, he's only held up by 1 little floor there. So if someone's smart, they can take that down, and he's going to come crumbling down to the floor. Yeah, one thing we've seen is the brilliant when you're drop falling, build walls and then build floors or ramps. Yes. I'd like to see that out of Svenos right now to fortify that 1x1 a little bit, and then he can actually get underneath, turtle up a little bit, and edit his way up back to the top. But I'm not sure if he realizes really it's only 1 small piece of steel that's connecting him. Meanwhile, looks like the Vitality and Millennium duo playing together here in this one. So 2 orgs coming together under 1. He'd like to see it. Kingwin was very close by as well. I mean, take a look at this map, man. We still have 40 people left in the game. And as you can see, all these triangles are starting to move together. What's interesting is they're populating kind of the lower left half of Wailing Woods, so that northern right half is still pretty vacant. We've got one team that's going to start moving, and you can see the top right there. I mean, this is still pretty open. Now, how do you feel about fighting in Wailing Woods specifically?
Yeah, I love the fact that the Wailing Woods finish. I think we're going to see a few things. One, of course, your building is heavily affected. Your ability to build and your ability to have vision. Two, with the addition of the grappler, much like we saw in PAX West, we saw an Omega who looked like Catwoman flying around or Catman flying around and hanging around in the trees. We're going to see a lot of cat in the tree action in this one, as so expect some people with that grappler to be able to get high ground. But of course, Wailing Woods finish makes it really, really interesting, tough to build, and not as much vision as you're used to having here. So it's gonna be a really fun and interesting finish here.
Yep, Svenos, man, he's got like what? It looked like 10 HP or something. He needs to be very careful as he's sitting here editing walls. If someone cracks back, I mean, he could go down. You know what's interesting though, which I think it's funny they're not doing, is so if you have below 30 HP, you can actually knock yourself if you fall from
to get up to 30.
to basically get revived and have 30 HP instead of like the 10 that he has now. So I mean, it's more dangerous to do.
Yeah.
Because if you mess it up, it's all downhill. But it's a little cheeky thing you can do.
I love it. I love it. Dropping some insight, dropping some knowledge. I absolutely love it. And again, you asked earlier, what's the difference between duos and solos? That's another big one. The ability to do some cheeky things like that, to utilize your teammate in certain scenarios. Of course, revives come into play as well. One thing I'm looking at, I want to keep a close eye on here as we're storytelling here to finish this one off. FlyQuest Tinney, the same man we saw drop Dusty Divot early on. Of course, a very reputable name in the European Fortnite competitive scene, coming from the UK. Really excited to see what him and his mouse counterpart can do in the late game.
36 players with SSK eliminates Dementos there.
Dementos is out.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the format is victory round is worth 3 points, second and third is worth 2, fourth and fifth is worth 1 point, and then you can see the elimination breakdown there. So don't forget, people are looking to get eliminations, or they're looking to survive toward the very end, making it to top 5 for those points. And you got to think, man, everyone's probably they're just taking their time. They're waiting for other people to move. They've got 15 seconds here before the storm starts to take over this area, and then again, they have to funnel their way into Wailing Woods.
Exactly. And one thing that's interesting here is a very late rotation from Tinney and Crabble here.
Yeah.
Finally, they're going to start hitting it, but look how far and how much of a distance they have to run. Maybe they're just waiting for everyone else to rotate. They do notice a jump pad, and guess what? A jump pad and anti-gravity is fun times. Flying across the sky is Crabble right now as he's feeling good about the scenario he's in. Just got to be careful not to get tagged up.
You know what's good too is everyone else is so focused about finding and securing their spot in the zone that they're coming in completely undetected. They're coming in at the pace they want. They can take a look at the land and kind of see where they want to fortify.
And where they want to land as well. A lot of communication has come into effect there. They had so many options, and you saw Crabble kind of toying with his options. He was like, should we drop on this Porta Fortress and have some fun? They opt instead for a nice passive scenario. They want to get themselves a nice plot of land, and it's almost like we're playing a land grab game here as everyone's trying to get their spot and fortify up. I like this late game.
Man, look at this. So again, oh wow, we're just seeing fire from all angles. I mean, this is not the spot you want to be in. You want to be the guy that's not being fired at by like 6 different teams.
Yep.
I mean, Endel himself, look, he's only got 40 HP, looking to disengage the fights. I mean, so what would you recommend for players looking to low the game, right? Let's say I'm a new guy and I want to learn how to play Fortnite, and I find myself in these like say top 40 situations. What do you recommend new players do to try and like hold out, right? You get cracked at and something like, what do I do? What would you recommend they do in those situations?
Yeah, really, it comes down to an approach thing. I think you need to play it 150%. It's so easy in a public match it's a public match, I'm just going to fly at them. No, play it like a tournament scenario. Play it real time, feel the pressure, feel the intensity, and play for the win every single time. Play 150% like you're competing yourself for a $10 million Fortnite fall skirmish pool. If you play like a pro, you'll end up getting to that point. It definitely helps you get there. Practice like a pro to try and be a pro, in my opinion. That's why you see the likes of Ninja and a lot of these players that they say every single game I'm learning from, every single game I'm part of myself. You have to take that approach. I think it's more of an approach thing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, man. I couldn't have said it better either. I mean, that's exactly the way you want to play it. And I mean, obviously, as people are watching, if you're new to Fortnite, just watch how these players behave, right? They sit there and they reset walls so that they're continuing to reconstruct. You can kind of see through them, the way that they're building, how they edit. These are all things that you should take into account when you're learning to play Fortnite. It's a deep game, man.
Yep.
It's a rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's deep. That's the most way to put it. I think you put it, yeah, you put it wonderfully. Deep, so many layers, so much depth to this game, so many play styles, there's so many different ways to play. Don't just look at your favorite player and say, I want to play like him. Adopt your own style of play. That's what's so beautiful about this. Look, I think it was a double revive going on. They're both going to opt for the passive play in this one. 31 alive still, so keep in mind 2 eliminations right now for the OSERV team as they are looking to get themselves point at least, but you still have to survive at least 10 more eliminations to get top 10. You see the format on the right side. Of course, when you see 20 players left, that means there's likely, you know, you can assume 10 teams left and you're in that top 10, and you're closer and closer to yourself that 1 point for 4th through 6th place.
That's right. Now the storm is starting to move. Everyone is trying to funnel their way into this new safe zone. I mean, we see it all the time. If people start to tunnel and they start to make their way, but we need to remember that resources are a key factor here.
Yep. Exactly. Especially being Willing Woods kind of gives you a nice, nice little bundle of resources if you want.
That's a good point. You just constantly have trees that give you a ton of wood there, and
you can build out and get the trees and the leaves up top.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, some fights going down. You see the wild card team. Of course, Bowman also on that wild card squad. Not sure if he's still alive, but Alpha doing a job picking up 1. He's going to build up here and fortify up. I'm liking the situation right now. Look at the mats. You see about 800 to 900 mats total. For wildcard Alpha, he has full HP and full shield just about. A double barrel shotgun to his name and a compact SMG. If you're a fan of this wildcard team, you're feeling pretty good right now. Alpha's in a good spot.
Man, look at this. He's got the 3 shockwave grenades. He's got 1 rift on the go. He's got the minis if he needs them. I love that he's opting to take the super close range options, right? He knows it's Wailing Woods. We're going to be pushed together here shortly, so I'm going to have a double barrel and I'm going to have an SMG. I'm just going to run at you, and one of us is going to be eliminated here. But
that's a great point. The close range component of that, you can just use a shockwave to basically close the gap. And talk about the importance of carrying mobility now, especially with this new meta and a lot of the new items that are added. It adds an element of mobility in your inventory. You have to play for mobility. You have to carry mobility, which we didn't really see as before. So I absolutely love where we're at right now with the Fortnite game meta.
Absolutely. Now we see players 21 left alive. The storm is going to start moving here. And now everyone's just scrambling. Everyone's doing the best they can to get to this new safe zone, taking shots left and right. I believe that's Mitra here just in front of Kazon. And now he's trying to get the high ground. Trying to do everything they can to get these micro advantages fall out.
Yeah, and his teammate, keep in mind, does have a rocket launcher to his name. It's huge in the end game. You can disrupt so much cover, especially if it's a gold rocket launcher. And I like the loadout here. As well for Chaos on Fire, or Kaz on Fire, sorry, as he does have a heavy shotgun and a compact SMG. Of course, that blue assault rifle as well to his name. Double elimination picked up for the OSERV team. They are looking great right now as well. So the wild card and OSERV squads looking, duos looking pretty solid.
And look where the new safe zone is. Not only is it just back where they came from, but now it's on top of a mountain. We see this literally time and time again. The mountain always wins when you need to move against it. Every time. What's cool is Wildcard have this rift on the go, so they can leave whenever they want. But don't forget, the rift, when it opens, it takes more than the space of 1x1. So someone's even close by, even a little bit. If Wildcard pops, he moves 1 grid space closer, and that rift goes off, he's going with them.
There you go.
Okay, so
like just the 2 of them.
Just the 2 of them.
That could have been dangerous. Now he's going to get high ground as well. That's huge from Alpha. Another rift.
Take
it. Take it.
Why would you take it?
They're going to do it. They're going to take it as well. So that's going to give them even more high ground here as they're just going to nice and slow. Let everyone else eliminate each other as you're just sitting with your umbrella watching the action go down. Look at all this building. What a brilliant view right now from Alpha. It's almost like 4th of July as he gets to see the fireworks go down below him. and now he wants some fireworks of his own. Gonna push in, takes out one. Alpha with the double barrel, and that's one elimination for him.
That is Pogsy going down. We're down to 9 players. I mean, that was beautiful. We saw them utilize the Rift to go. They get high ground. They dive down on a player who then uses a Rift, and they're like, cool, we'll just do this again. Thanks for giving us a little advantage here. And they come out on top because of it.
And I love it. Just like that. 6 players left in this game. Look how quick things devolved there, as now it is going to be the Wildcard Alpha in a great position with Big Dominate up top to just stay alive, play for the lead here, fortify up as much as possible, which they're doing exactly that. And they're in a good spot here. Let's see what their heals are like, though. Because we might see ourselves another heal off. This would Cowboys' favorite games to play in. Of course, Cowboy on the North American side loves those heal-offs.
Oh, Kaz on fire, eliminated the Storm. Again, we talked about it, man. If you try to face a Mountain, Mountain always wins. And a huge SSK drops him down. If he can find more rockets, did this player have more rockets? They did not. I think there was out on the Storm.
He has a G. He has
no
a GL. And
no way.
The Shockwave's gonna come in. It's not gonna break through the corner. Not enough. He's in a world of hurt now. 10 HP. Needs to be careful. So now we have a 1 versus 1 versus 1. One person's low ground, one mid ground, and one high ground. And the grenade launchers are going to be ripped here. Not going to matter. Not going to connect as those pyramids are going to deflect.
I mean, look, he also has 5 eliminations. Fallout. This is huge. He has 10 HP left. What do you do in this situation?
He loses the heal. He needs fight, needs to play for aggression here. You have no heals, and that's it. It's going to be Alpha that takes out the elim from up top. Well played by Alpha, and look at him. A med kit and a campfire. Alpha has this all but wrapped up here, unless this last member can pull off a miracle.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know how Heal Off works, the only way you can activate a med kit is if you have less than 100 HP. You saw him wait for the Storm to tick once, and then he started the heal. And now it's just textbook. Wildcard Alpha, just wait. Look, he even started the emote. He's like, hey, look, all right, I'm going to start the dance off because I already know. I'm confident in my decision. That's crazy. So we've seen 2 heal offs back to back. That almost never happens.
Unbelievable. And some style points for Wildcard Alpha as he starts dancing as well. And not only that, but talk about starting the dance as the slow-mo comes in, and he's literally doing like a PowerPoint pose.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Alpha, 10 for 10, style points, med kit, and of course his gameplay was pretty good as well.
Man, that was a crazy game too. That was, I mean, so what I thought was the ultimate tipping point there was SSK used the shockwave grenade, and when he went up, he didn't break the top. That would have been.
And I didn't know that. I thought no matter what, as long as you're in the motion of having shockwave, so you learn something new every time you watch Fortnite apparently. But I thought as long as you're in the motion after initiating a shockwave grenade, you break through any cover. But you actually lose momentum, and once you lose momentum, look at that. Who would have thought physics applied here in Fortnite?
Real game
physics.
Fortnite's a real game.
Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff. Didn't have enough momentum to break that cover and ended up costing him.
Man, down to 10 HP. Let's take a look at some of the replays coming in from game number 2 of the EU scene. I mean, so I would say of the 2 games we watched, Micah is probably like my top 3 favorites. What do you think?
Yeah, even though he hasn't made it to late game, I agree. I think I've seen some great things out of Micah. I really love what I saw out of Alpha right there. We called out his inventory, and the fact that he opted for such a mobility-heavy inventory is awesome to see, and it really defines and tells the tale of how this metagame has evolved. I'm liking what I'm seeing on a lot of people, but Alpha is definitely up there for me.
We still have 4 more games. This is so much fun. I mean, getting to cast games with you, getting to watch this incredible action. EU shows up every time, man. They take no prisoners. And I mean, this was that the double dive play we saw. They activated their first rift to go. They dive on a player. And look at that, Wildcard Alpha. After everything is said and done, he starts the heal off.
I love it. And I want to see when he starts dancing here. That's when he starts dancing. Look at that. We're going to deem that the Alpha pose. Everybody do the Alpha pose here.
Shoutouts to Alpha.
Shoutouts to Alpha. Style, like I said, style points. Creating his own dance moves, using the slow-mo. I love it. I absolutely love it. Great gameplay.
With that, he walks away with 3 points for the victory royale on top of any elimination thresholds he's met. So I have to keep you guys up to date as far as the scoreboard goes. But, man, what do you think after the first 2 games of the day? What are your thoughts?
Great gameplay across the board. We're seeing top-tier gameplay. You're right. Europe does not disappoint. Big shout out to all Europeans watching right now, and of course the European Fortnite community for supporting in a major way. What great gameplay this has been. It's been a treat to see so far.
Absolutely. I mean, what do you guys at home think? How are you enjoying all the action? Hit us with the hashtag Fall Skirmish. What do you think of Europe? I mean, these guys are insane. Send us your favorite moments. Talk about things you're enjoying about the format. Talk about this guy, how amazing he is. Don't forget to
Stop talking about yourself like that.
Look, I'm talking about you, Fallout. You and I both know Fallout's amazing. So hit him on Twitter. Say at Fallout.
2 T's.
Yes, 2 T's.
Appreciate that, though, my
say
friend.
at Fallout, I love you. ... at Zeigmas Prime sent me. That's what I got to do. So I want to see a lot of those. If I'm not seeing those, I'm disappointed in you. But I still love you. But I'm disappointed.
Please do me a favor and throw in a hashtag Zeke for president.
Oh my!
We gotta show some love to this guy. I mean, we absolutely have to. But
oh man,
that's awesome. We talk about social, the importance of letting us know your thoughts. That hashtag's amazing, so we can keep in the conversation. We won't necessarily see a lot of that stuff, so make sure to tweet at us as well, so we can see some of your comments. We'd love to hear your feedback. Yeah. Maybe send us a nice picture of you doing the alpha pose.
Dude, the alpha pose—that's a new thing. So, so if you're watching on Twitch, you gotta cut back to this other camera. Yeah. So if you're on Twitch, you need to clip this moment right here. And then hashtag alpha pose at Zeigmas Prime at Fallout. That's what I want to see.
The first time we got in that, just like about 5 minutes ago, I totally thought like it was going to be like almost like a stare off, and the first person to break I was the first one to break the pose. But if I didn't break the pose, I think you would have stuck with it for at least 7 minutes.
I would have got at least 10 minutes. I'm dedicated.
Would you guys have enjoyed that 7 minutes of it? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. A big shout out to Alpha for defining and creating the alpha pose here today. What amazing game 1 and game number 2. And guess what? We have 4 more matches ahead of us in Europe.
4 more, but now a little bit of disappointing news is we got to go through a break.
Oh,
I know, but it's okay. It means that we can all together collectively get up, get a little bit of stretch in.
Restore our hearts a little bit.
That's right. I can take it. I need a breather. I need to go get some drinks. Take time. Go get yourself some drink and a little snack. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere.
Alpha pose.
The out. We're back.
And having way too much fun here.
Yeah, we're having way too much fun. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, and welcome back to the Fall Skirmish. I'm Zeke. This is Fallout. If you were here before the break, thank you for sending Fallout all that love. Continue to do that. That was actually hilarious. And we saw, you just showed me that someone tweeted at us the pose. If you missed that, well, you missed out. We did a power pose because someone just power posed in the last game for the win. That was impressive. Don't forget to continue to send all of your thoughts, what you think about the format, everything our way with that hashtag. Please, we seriously love having a conversation with you, love having to hear what you have to say. That almost came out. That was weird. I almost said that wrong. But welcome back. We're back, man. Fall Skirmish. If you're just tuning in, we are here with the EU scene. I'm Zeke again. We're joined by Fallout. This guy is a legend. Again, if you're just tuning in and you don't know who Fallout is, you're living your life wrong. I need you to go on Twitter. Okay, are you listening? Go on Twitter. You search Fallout with 2 T's and you follow him. He's amazing. Are you watching? Are you doing it? Pull out your phone. I'm watching. Yes, pull out pull out your phone. Thank you.
That's way too. You make me feel like a bajillion quadrillion dollars.
Dude, because you are, and I want everyone else to know that you are.
That's very nice of you, but right back at you. Also, I need to stand corrected. I said hashtag, hit me with hashtag Zeke for president. We're in Europe, so we're going to assimilate hashtag Zeke for PM, Zeke for prime minister here, ladies and gentlemen. We got to be more attentive to our culture and our audience. A big shout out to Europe. I'm actually from Greece myself, so hashtag Europe, hashtag European Fortnite, hashtag
Here we are. Well, let's talk about, I guess, the participants that are joining. If you guys have not been in the know with the release of the Fall Skirmish, we're having so much fun. With the Fall Skirmish, we've introduced clubs. We have 5 clubs that are each packed with 100 participants. And as you can see, these are some of the participants that are joining us today for week 1. This is a duo format. So basically, you want to root for your favorite team, whoever you think is the best one.
Yep. You see at the bottom right there, I think we got some Dusty Dogs, early fans here. Big dominating Alpha Amons, a.k.a. Wildcard Alpha, with a great performance here in game number 2. Some great names. We saw Svenis, we saw the likes of Tinny, and a lot of great European players, Severin, and folks who have competed incredibly well. Apostle, your favorite bow tie man.
He's dapper. He's a dapper and beautiful man. I mean, seriously, you talked about it. There's just so many unbelievably talented players here. The first 2 games we've had of the day have been insane. We have 4 more games total to cast. I mean, I'm just looking to see everything we've already watched. Just do it again. Just keep doing all the cool things.
More of the same, please.
Yeah.
Don't stop, because I'm absolutely loving every single bit of it. And, of course, you guys got to let us know ASAP, please, in the Twitch chat. And, of course, on Twitter, at Zekemus Prime, to follow this guy here. Who is your favorite club? Who you're rooting for? Make your allegiances, make your loyalties. I will give the audience by the end of game number 4, because I want to let them know who's playing, who's competing. By the end of game 4, I want you to pick and determine which club you'll be representing for the entirety of Fall Skirmishes. Are you a Dusty Dog? Are you a Lucky Llama? I'm hoping to be a Lucky Llama myself, but we'll see what happens.
He made a formal submission here during the first 2 games, so if you missed that, you need to find that somewhere on Twitch.
Someone clip it.
Someone
so
clip
I can make that into my video submission.
Clip it.
Please.
It was really good.
I really appreciate that.
I'll be keeping that in mind when I'm looking to add players to the Lucky Llamas.
Wow, my man Zeke.
But don't forget, so talking about the clubs very quickly, I mean, so this is something we talked about. It's new for the Fall Skirmish. We got 100 players, 50 from NA, 50 from EU. And at the end of the 6 weeks that is the Fall Skirmish, the team with the most points is actually going to get a prize. So not only are people competing during the competitive Fridays, they're looking to earn themselves a little bit of the prize pool. They're also going to get additional points for their club. And if people aren't participating during the Friday competitive scene, there's the trials during the week. You want to talk to me about that?
Yeah, would absolutely love to. So awesome. We saw Summer Skirmish every single Friday and Saturday. Amazing gameplay. But guess what? This time around, we have not only competitive gameplay every single Friday, but we have time trials, ATK races, we have squad goals, all sorts of additional fun formats throughout the week. So your Fortnite entertainment runs all week long, not just on Fridays. Absolutely amazing stuff. And not only do you get to pick a club to have an allegiance to, you could be a part of it. You could also apply and create a submission to be a part of your favorite club. So a lot on the line here, but let's talk about the format here today.
That's right. So don't forget, every week we change up the format. We're bringing back some of the formats from the Summer Skirmish. One of them is Hold the Throne. So we're going to play 6 matches. Victory House are worth 3 points, second and third place are worth 2, and fourth and fifth place are worth 1 point. Talking about those eliminations, Fallout.
Oh my goodness, I love it. 8+ eliminations get you 3 points, 6 to 7, 2 points, and 4 and 5, 1 point. So it's really 4, 6, 8. Think of it at that threshold to get plus 1 point. And of course, the Hold the Throne bonus, 2 points for most elims in any match. So we are excited to get you guys standings here in just a little bit to let you know who's been holding the throne, what the eliminations and placement points totals are at. But of course, let's talk about the stakes here, Zeke. So much at line, $67,000 for first.
Man, and on top of that, again, taking a look at the club points. So not only are we seeing people getting to show up, compete for this prize pool, but they're earning themselves club points in the process. So if they get those points for, let's say, you know, a team places first, right? And they walk away with this, and they get those club points. Those club points could be enough to have them win at the very end of the whole thing and win additional points. So don't forget, if you don't know, at the end, whatever club has the most points wins, and it's the entire club that's going to receive an additional prize outside of just people competing for the top 10 placements. So basically, everyone wins.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Not only a prize, $4 million, up to $4 million awarded to the winning clubs, as announced in the details. If you have not checked out the details yet, go to the blog post on epicgames.com for all the information for Fall Skirmish. It's been awesome to see so far.
Yeah, we also be updating the thread there, so you'll be able to see the upcoming format as well as the weekly trial. So definitely stay tuned, lock it in, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. We actually even talked about it kind of before the break. Since PAX, okay, so during the week of PAX West, the finals, the Shockwave Grenade was disabled.
Yep.
Okay, so now we have that in game. On top of that week the Grappler came out. This week, we saw the likes of the Porta Fortress come out. We've also seen the Silence AR added to the game. Loot Lake, the Cube, a.k.a. Kevin, that was dubbed by the community, has sank into Loot Lake and has now made the lake bouncy. On top of that, we've also vaulted the drum gun. So all these things together have changed the meta dramatically, I would say, and have really changed up how people are opting to run loadouts, you know, deciding where to land. Do you want to talk about that?
I love that you set that up perfectly, and we've seen it come to play already. The addition of all these items, really, to summarize it, we're adding an addition of mobility. So the ability to move from point A to point B really, really quickly has been added here. Porta Fortresses, grappler guns, so many different items that get you there. And we saw it happen in game number 2 already. We saw the Shockwave and the Rift double mobility loadout from Alpha. And guess what? He got to be the one that posed for the number 1 victory round finish at the end of it.
Unbelievable. Now we are hopping into game number 3. I hope these people are, look at that, there's a lot of thanking the bus driver. Thank you guys for thanking the bus driver. This guy works tirelessly to just get you to where you need to go. So make sure to thank him when you can.
Yeah, good people, good Samaritans out there, of course, on the European side. What else can we expect? Some of the nicest people out there.
Oh, yeah.
As we have a chance to watch them in here. We go. You see the map on the left side of your screen, a nice even dispersion of players throughout the entirety of the island, and the action's about to break down. Game number 3 here. So once we're done with this, we'll be halfway done already, which blows my mind. I'm having way too much fun here, Zeke. It's been a pleasure to be casting this so far.
Dude, the honor is mine here, getting to hang out with the likes of Fallout. He's incredible. Again, if you don't follow him, you need to do it. He's incredible. But look at this, man. We already see players opting to make, you know, decisions where they're going to land. We see Junk Junction. We see a duos actually split. They're so confident. They're like, hey, I'm going to take over Junk Junction. You hit up Haunted Hills. Viking Village as well. Tilted Towers is only occupied actually by 2 duos there. I mean, there's so many. There's still people en route to locations. Yeah. So
I mean, I can't believe it. Look at this. The bus actually started on the west side of the island, and typically in public live matches you see everyone drop early because they're impatient, they want to get to the action. Look at the exact opposite here. If you look at the overhead map, it'll show you everyone is on the right side. We'll get that pulled up as soon as we can, but only one team Shifty Shafts, only one team Greasy Grove, one team Viking Mountain, one team Junk Junction Haunted Hills, one team Pleasant Park, and one team Tilted Towers. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, man. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this is the new spectator mode client that we're debuting here for the Fall Skirmish. So we'll get to see pretty much everyone's perspective. On top of that, we also want to give you guys as much information as possible, so that whenever you're looking at the top right in that mini-map, you'll be able to see additional players. So there you can see there's an additional diamond up there. So that team doesn't know there's someone else there, but we know there. So again, it's just an effort to be transparent, to keep you guys up to date, give you as much information. But look at this. Shots already being fired. Hupek takes a huge hit there. Look at that. Aragonis cracks back and says, no. Oh, wait a minute.
Is that a double elim?
Unbelievable. Aragonis got the elimination on both players, but he lost his teammate in the crossfire.
All right, so Aragonis now with a whole load on his shoulders. He's going to have to carry his teammate, who's going to be sitting there watching, to victory. Let's see what he can do now in this one. We'll keep a close eye on him as he develops. Meanwhile, the OSERV team that we saw place, I believe, top 10 last game, game number 2, still alive here. No shields to their name just yet, but they're going to be advancing towards Dusty Divot, where there's, of course, the likes of Tim and Crabble would love to go there.
Yeah, for sure. We see, ooh, Dav takes down Carrero there. And I mean, look at this. You just see players just going to town here. This is, I believe, what is this, Pleasant Park?
It's Retail Row.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Big fight at Retail Row. Gambit, Pate 1K.
Vermax
sticking out there was Vermax, who was, I think actually we saw him fly with a shockwave grenade all the way over to that fight, is going to come out on top. So awarded for aggression. You like to see it there from Vermax.
Absolutely.
And look at this. Speaking of mobility, as a grappler gun at his disposal, some remote explosives picked up as well.
You love to see it, man. I take the grappler over it. I always make a spot.
You'll drop shields for it?
Okay. I won't drop shields for it.
I'll always make a spot. Quote it. Hashtag Zeke. I will always make a spot unless it's shields.
Unless it's shields. Look, I'll drop just about anything else except shield. Like if I have like one mini, I'll drop the one mini.
What about a gray pistol?
No. I need the gray pistol at all times. I need the gray pistol. No, I'll drop a gray pistol for it. Anything except shield.
Anything except shields. There you go. Good important clarification. Right after saying, I will drop anything
Now going forward, everyone's going to be like, wow, Zeke would drop shields for a grappler. He's so bad at the game.
No.
Listen, okay? I like the grappler.
I don't blame you, though. I think a lot of people would agree with you. The mobility is so crucial. Not only that, but I love the fact that it's so much less likely to get caught in the storm. Which means you're more likely to see better engagements. It's never fun as a fan, as a spectator, as a player, you know, to get stuck in the storm. That's obviously your fault if you kind of let yourself get put in that situation. But the grappler, the rift to go, so many of these different items give you a chance to really stay in the game here, and it's really awesome to see.
I mean, we
and
saw
8TKs?
8TKs. For, you know, we don't see people typically take 8TKs, but what we did see is the last game, someone had a grappler in the final few circles, and they use it to change position and change their elevation. So, I mean,
awesome
the grappler is crazy versatile. Crazy versatile.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I mentioned it earlier, Micah and the Vitality Squad, or DUOS, a team that you've loved to see so far. And they're going to drop Risky again, 3 games in a row, and they're going to come out on top this time.
Tinny is here in Dusty Divot. We see the new item, the Porta Fortress down. This thing is a monster. I mean, it just takes up so much space. It gives you cover. It's got bounce pads if you want to disengage or, you know, go full send.
Wow.
Tinny goes down, though.
Look at this. It's G-Master on a 1 versus 2, takes out Tinny, takes Crabble to low HP, all by himself, fighting an army in this power squad between Crabble and Tinny. Can he come out on top in the 1 versus 1, though? I'm loving what I'm seeing. Those peak shots were brilliant. If you're an aspiring Fortnite player at home, take some notes here as G-Master is putting on a show.
Look at this. He cracks back, though. He's super low, and no way.
Wow.
Crabble takes down G-Master. That means him and Tinny are back in the action. You'll love to see it, man. That was crazy.
Amazing plays from Crabble. He didn't even have high ground. On low ground, was able to come out on top with the elimination. That goes to show how skillful of a player Crabble is, and Tinny and Crabble live to see another day. All thanks to the 1v1 from Crabble. Well done. But you got to give your hat off to G-Master there. Look at this. Speaking of grappler.
You love to see it. Changing elevations, trying to get the drop on this player. He puts down shots. He's laying down the heavy.
This ain't no drum gun anymore, Mickey TV. Is the LMG, of course, is a little bit more spray and close range. He's going to get taken out there because of it. Wow, what an interesting turn of events there.
Now Sobs has to take time and heal himself. Look at this. Apostle finds himself that down, and now he's engaged here with Mickey TV. Can he lock it down? Or this is Mexi, I'm sorry. He's trying to get the high ground. Oh, Apostle. He goes down. It's just Mexi's going to secure the 11. Oh, no way. His teammate was there.
Swoops in from nowhere. It's Train H Sops with the save. Wow. I mean, that was a millisecond of Mexi picking up the elimination. If he would have waited just a millisecond to shoot that tactical shotgun to get the elim, I think he would have gotten it. But the 1 to 2 seconds of invulnerability saves his life. What a play right there from Sops.
That
swooping
was
it out of nowhere.
Unbelievable.
The only thing that would have made that better is if he had a grappling gun and flew his way.
Oh, yeah.
180 flick of the wrist saved his teammate. But regardless, it was still pretty beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. Look at that. Fnatic, they disengaged there with the Rift. And now it's just Carnifex here. Look at this. So now they're skybound. They're just making their way over Tilted Towers. So Tilted is currently where the safe zone is, which is good. We saw only one duo team land at Tilted. Now, Fnatic, they don't know this. They probably now know this now that their shot's coming out. But Oh, I feel like I would have almost opted to go tilted. I feel like.
Interesting stuff.
Because then you're playing gatekeeper, right? It's like everyone outside, if they're trying to make their way, like, oh yeah, tilted's fine, everyone's gone. Well, no, Fnatic is there.
Yeah. I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate just because that tilted drop is right on the outskirts of the next circle. We talk about early rotations and the importance of early rotations. And again, this really to each their own. Everyone has their own opinion on this. I'm a firm believer in early rotations. Get center circle and avoid the madness that is the edge of the circle there. So I think that was a right decision in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
I would have played him.
For sure. And that's the beauty of Fortnite, man. There's really no wrong answer.
No right or wrong way. Yeah.
It's only the wrong answer until when you get eliminated. Then it was the wrong answer.
Well said. Now, Epsilon, Sandel. Good shots picked up with his teammate. Of course, the Epsilon duo. It's going to be King and Sandel pick up 2 on the Solary team.
They use the Rift to go to disengage this fight. Now, keep in mind, the Rift is still there for 10 seconds. So this team could follow up.
And they did. I believe they grabbed it.
One is Skybound, yep.
Yep. Interesting scenario there. Meanwhile, in Dusty Divot, we see Madsen rotating with his teammate. No, and they actually take that back. Look at the top right of your screen. I love this spectator mode. And one thing as a spectator and viewer of Fortnite, you got to be committed. Look at the different UI or your user interface on your screen and the different clues, because you get to see now a parallel opportunity for FlyQuest Tinny over there if he wants to engage.
And Svenos here, currently going down. He's trying to get the high ground, but gets cracked.
Oh, no.
And now it's Le and Uran. They're trying to close in on Svenos. They know he is hurt, and they're doing everything they can to just try and down him. But Kinzel's there.
Kinzel is playing some amazing support fire, and this is the beauty of duos right there. Svenos is in a world of hurt in a solos game. He would have been completely taken out, but because Kinzel's able to support with some great shots of his own, I think they both get away with. They're both alive here, but no, they're actually on different teams. So the addition of Kinzel third-partying that, nope, they are on the same team. I take it back. I apologize. I thought they had different arrow colors at the top right of the screen, but exactly, that's the beauty of duos right there. So well played by Kinzel, keeping his teammate alive.
Unbelievable. And now here we go over to another fight. It looks like there's 3 teams here. Aragonist has gone down, Vatu up top.
Oh,
and this is Mitro, who it looks like has swapped up his skin. He normally runs the Luchadores.
Yeah, so not having a reload right there, and his assault rifle reloaded actually ended up costing him at least the shields of that opponent, but it's okay. He's just going to back out and reset in this scenario.
Look at this, his teammate. Remember, he was the one that left with the rift on the go.
You're right.
So he's just now making his way back to Mitro, like, hey, what's up? Have you been doing things? It's fine. I'm here.
The other member of Wildcard, one of our favorite esports organizations. Big shout to them for sending over a few members of the Wildcard team over to PAX West in Seattle for the summer skirmish. He's competing today. It's going to be Povsy of the Wildcard team.
Ooh, we saw that they're trying to send grenades over. But Mitro's prepared. He just backs off and says, look, I'm not trying to mess with that. I'm just going to build this wall, this ramp. Let's just slow down.
Is that slurp juice? Sand to the right?
That was. He dropped a medkit and I believe the slurp juice.
Interesting stuff there. So now here comes the push. Looks like they're on the hunt. They want these eliminations. Keep in mind, they only have 0 right now for Povsy. Not sure how many Mitro has. But that 4 number is the threshold. They're going to try and get that. Raining grenades right now. That's a scary sight to see. What would you do if you're getting grenades rained on you in real life?
In real life?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, I take out my blueprint. And
I built some walls.
Oh, wait, this is real life. No, wait. Yeah, so I take out the blueprint. Man, that's not in the spot you want to be, especially if you're down low and someone's just hailing grenades. Look at that. Teaksy goes down. These are the power of these grenades.
Beautiful.
And you know what's really telling of their skill is grenades have a bounce. They have an initial bounce when they touch an object.
Yep.
So being able to ricochet them correctly, I mean, Teaksy was at full health, and that perfect balance means he goes down, and now that team is in a 1v2 situation, so very masterfully placed grenade there.
Yeah, exactly. And look at this build battle. We saw the use of a pyramid. Actually, I believe that was Mitro that placed his own pyramid, and it ended up kind of getting him trapped in that scenario. Of course, Liquid 72 Hours was the one that really redefined that meta of pyramid placement as a defensive or offensive item and counter, and now we see almost every player doing it. It's really cool to see the addition of that maybe about 5-6 months ago. And but right in there, that situation, Mitro placed his own pyramid that ended up kind of costing him. Not the cleanest edit either to get out of there.
Oh, they tried. Oh, there was 3 boogie bombs.
Was that are they just trying to have fun?
I believe they were trying to catch them off with the boogie bombs, hoping they would buy a little bit of time, but
not knowing the distance, radius that it could travel, maybe. Because it did explode midair.
Yeah, it does have kind of like a total fall off, but look at this. Still 50 players
Amazing.
left.
I love it. So much fun.
Look at the map. Fallout, look at this. So they've taken over Salty Springs, right?
Yep.
You've got 2 duos down by Fatal. You got 1 in the blue kind of making their way up. Down in the very center of the circle, you got those 2 blue teams right there.
Top mountain.
I mean, there's still so many people coming in. And look, there's 2 triangles moving very rapidly in right here. you got to assume they've probably rifted because they are moving.
And then the gray on the far left by Shifty Shafts, you have to assume they have a rift to go or something to be able to close that gap because they're playing for a defensive situation now.
Yeah, they're far.
Yeah, they are very far.
So the way the circle closes, the closer you are to the actual circle, like the slower the storm around you closes. So if you're far from it, it's going to like overtake you quicker. But if you're very close to the circle, you actually have a little more time than you'd anticipate. So some of these guys are okay, but man, you're right. Those guys at Shifty Shafts, they need to start making these early rotations like you talked about.
Yeah, they are on the far side. So exactly what you said. There's slow side and there's far side. It's based on proximity to that next circle. That's what makes the difference between the slow side and the far side. So if you ever notice that as a Fortnite player, sometimes the storm closes a little faster than others. That's why. You got my man Zeke here breaking down the logics and the insights. I appreciate it. Awesome stuff here. Nothing but the best here from Zeke, guys. Every single week of Summer Skirmish, he casted, and it was brilliant delivery. Really awesome to have him on board. A big shout out to this man. Show him some love on Twitter. Zeke for PM.
No, you're two guys. Stop. Don't get him. Don't get him doing that.
At Zeke Miss Prime. Zeke for PM.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You deserve it, my friend. Things are slowing down here, so we can have some fun. But action's about to break down here momentarily. In 25 seconds, that storm will be collapsing, and it will be a smaller circle. Keep in mind, I think only we said 50 people. This is a lot smaller of a game than we saw 64 when that final circle was there in game number 1. Yeah. So like you said, people may be a little bit nervous in game 1. You're seeing them warm up a little bit and get a little more confident in game number 3.
That's right, man. And don't forget, with the current format, I mean, players are looking to earn points as quickly as possible. Victory hours are worth 3 points. Second and third are worth 2, and fourth and fifth are worth 1. And I mean, especially with these elimination thresholds, I mean, don't forget, if the duo combined can earn 4 eliminations, they get a point. So every single elimination matters. Even the difference in 1 point, we even saw this at PAX, 1 point is enough to just move you and skyrocket you through the standings. So everyone doing the best they can. Now, it's like, you're right. They're all warmed up. They're halfway through. They're like, hey, let's start playing for these points.
Exactly. And look at this fight here. It's kind of an interesting one. We got low ground versus mid ground.
It's Wildcard Alpha.
Our friend Alpha. And Big Dominate, very weak. He's going to use the Impulse Grenade for mobility. He's going to be able to get some cover above himself as well. But his teammate that is in Clyde is going to be pushed up for aggression. He's going to get knocked a little over-aggressive here for Clyde. Meanwhile, Merwana in a 1 versus 2 situation. Not the best place to be in, but this is when our All-Stars rise. Can he do it? Merwana in a 1 versus 2. Alpha takes out his teammate in Clyde, so it's official now. Merwana left to carry his duo in this one. Is he going to drop? Yes, he is. He wants the fight here, and he's not going to get it. Good defensive building from Alpha Amons. Meanwhile, Big Dominate, who's very, very weak right now, all it takes is 1 shot from Merwana to pick up the elimination.
Oh, he managed to...
Beautiful.
Alpha cuts him off there.
Look at this, the walls, the defensive walls to keep him in the storm. It's going to cause him to get tagged up as well.
This is just ridiculous. Merwana now trying to maintain this high ground. He's in the storm. He's committed to this elimination.
Wow, he does have some bandages here, so he's comfortable. That's a smart play. Oh no, he's getting flanked. That was Alpha. Alpha is teeter-tattering with the storm here just to get some shots into Merwana. Look at this, 1 versus 1. They're both low HP, and it's gonna be Merwana getting eliminated by the storm there. Yep. What an interesting fight and breakdown that was. Alpha playing with confidence, and it's going to cost him his life as well.
He was also lost to the storm there. Our power-posing man from our last game, the Victory Out, he gets no points.
So in the end, the only thing that was gained or lost there was my loss of breath, as nothing really gathered in that scenario. No points for either team, like you said, Zeke. Wow.
And look at this. We saw Tinny go down early on in the game. Don't you remember him and his teammate? His teammate saves him, and now they're back in the game. Tinny has 2 eliminations to his name, and look, Povsy is down below. But keep in mind, Tinny doesn't have much in the way of ammo, even weapons.
Here's some grenades. One's going to go down. That's Povsy. Tinny's going to be rotating low side because he gets a little bit fearful of those grenades, which can knock down his structure in an instant. Actually, no, Povsy's still up. Povsy's teammate that is down right below Tinny.
Oh, he's up top. You see him?
Oh, he is. You're right. So it actually might be Crabble who's down.
Yeah, Crabble's down below. So keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching, if they have the same number below their name, they're on the same team. So Povsy and his teammate have a 2. They're on the same team. Tinny and his teammate have 43. They're on the same team. For clarity.
Yep, it's beautiful clarity. I think well-needed clarity as well. Thank you for breaking that down. Meanwhile, Mitro, number 2, and see if his teammate is still alive. Not sure if he is. It's going to be Crabble.
Oh, look, Tinny is taking shots right now. He just needs to jump down. Look, Tinny's doing everything he can. He's like, look, Crabble, you helped us get this far. I need to try and pick you up. I need you.
Yep, and not only that, he got Tinny up a couple, maybe 10, 15 minutes ago over Dusty Divot. So returning the favor here. You like to see it. Nice little teamwork opportunity. Now they're both back up with low shield, or low HP, rather, and I would have liked to see Povsy and Co. take a little bit more aggression in that fight. Instead, they let them get the revive.
Yeah, but now they opt to bounce into the circle, taking shots. And now Ads is here as well, Edge of the Storm. I mean, look at this, 31 seconds till the Storm overtakes this area.
And Crabble and Tinny were both eliminated, by the way, at the bottom left of your screen there. So now we got the Vitality, French organization here, working their way over. Big shout out to the French Fortnite community, a massive community, a passionate community as well. Of course, the Vitality organization is a big part of that.
Man, still 36 players left. Follow. We're now entering Salty Springs. This is where it's like, oh, okay. So M11 takes him down.
And you know, I don't want to say I told you so by any means, but the early rotation helps out and benefits there. The people stuck on the edges, trying to move into that rotation late, are just going to get lasered by the folks that are center circle already. So it goes to show the importance of early rotations, which means get to center circle of the next circle before anyone else. Build yourself a nice 1-by-1. You're sitting in a good spot. Ninja loves to do that. A lot of these top players love to do that as well.
And then you can do what's called gatekeeping, where you just basically wait for someone to come in as they're backed into the storm, and you just put them off guard. You put them in a tough spot, and I mean, as you can see, those, like you're talking about, those early rotations, man, they put you in a really good spot. But now SSK trying to make a play here. He's outside near the storm edge. Now he jam side finds elimination, which is good. His duo partner.
Yeah, playing with the border of fire right there. Not going to take any damage though, so well played. Good job knowing his surroundings right there. Meanwhile, jam side is mid ground. Going to drop low ground, going to turtle up. So when you hear a lot of pro players use that term, turtling, basically like a turtle shell, a turtle in his shell, you're going to get low ground. You're basically getting a nice turtle shell of a 1-by-1 box on the low ground. Typically it refers to turtling on low ground. It can be anywhere, of course, as jam side is just going to post up and wait for everyone else to fight each other.
And as you saw, I believe their duo combined has 6 eliminations. That puts them at that 2-point threshold. That's huge.
Big.
That's going to give them a ton of points. Now they're on the board. I mean, especially if other people are trying to do their best to earn eliminations and can't. I mean, you know, sub points are better than no points. Fact.
Life. Some points are better than no point. I like that.
There you
go. Yeah, and I think that applies to most situations.
Life.
Golf. You don't want points in golf.
That's fair. That's fair. That's the one place it doesn't apply.
Yeah, exactly. On board still with 7, SSK 7. Of course, teammate of jam side. Meanwhile, the Vic sees a fight going on. He kind of wants some action here. Will he go for it? No, he's going to let his teammate spray instead. Some good damage done right there. And look how intense this is. And a stink bomb goes to show the importance of holding on to those stink bombs for late game. But that's going to get some great damage. That's going to get eliminate down at least. Mitro takes out one. Madsen takes out Mika. And just like that, it is going to be the Vitality squad, I believe, taken out.
And Ukes eliminates Mitro, a Titan. Wow. Unbelievable. I mean, this is where things get very hectic very quickly.
Look at this.
Madsen, going skybound there. And again, man, we talked about it. So here's the thing: EU plays a little differently. They don't play high ground as often as like NA does. NA is always high ground. EU is very close to the ground. They're very methodical. They build. You talked about it, tunneling. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. In late game, you see a lot of elevation. Oh my goodness, how beautiful is that elevation?
Yes!
Porta Fortress, baby.
The Porta Fortress.
Quite the opposite of tunneling.
That is just, this is now my kingdom.
Yeah, this is now my kingdom. That shot by the Vic, picking up 1. But you see in these late games, a lot of tunnels created, or catacombs, as Dr. Lupo likes to kind of call them in his commentary, where people will create these little boxes for themselves, these little catacombs, which creates almost, again, tunnels, which gives them an opportunity, low ground, mid ground, or high ground, to be able to kind of work around, get as much of a land grab opportunity as you can, especially in these late game circles that are very, very small.
With only 23 players left. I mean, look. So now we see where the new safe circle is.
Ukes goes for a medkit and 14 bandages. He's expecting a heal off. He's playing for late game. Wow, interesting decision. I don't know if I would have done the same thing. I like to play a little more aggressive and go for elims. But again, different styles of play, different faces, different races there. I like what I'm seeing.
Demento's maintaining this high ground, but now we're going to start to see the storm move. Now we need to, so we have 10 seconds here before we're in a brand new spot. We'll get a new safe zone. Yep. But I mean, look at this. Everyone is literally scrambling, trying to get themselves safe.
I called it out earlier, but Dementos in a great position to win this game. They're just going to build themselves as much of a high ground and a perimeter as possible. A little risky right now, actually, but as much as possible. He has 2 med kits. He has full shields, full HP.
Oh my gosh. The Vic has another Porta Fortress. We talked about this last game.
Here we go.
Okay, let's really quick break this down. In Fortnite, when you place a structure, you have edit rights, right? So if I place a wall, I can edit it to be whatever I want. That means you as the enemy cannot. Now here's the thing. Everyone that is the Vic's enemy can place anything. If he drops that Porta Fortress, that means he owns the entire area. He can edit that entire area. And keep in mind that it's an instant build. Those are instant metal walls going up in a massive space. this is going to be a game changer.
Absolute game changer. Yeah, I'm excited to see if that breaks down. I'm going to let you take that away because you've been nailing that point. It's a beautiful point because, of course, it gives you immediate edit rights to every single piece of cover in that area. Dementos, though, I called it out, about 25 people left, now 17 left, still in a great position to win this game as he has 14 bandages and 2 med kits.
M1 also has one.
Oh my gosh, 2 Porta Fortresses here. It's going to be the Vic that picks out elimination with the shotgun. That's a heavy, gold heavy shotgun for him, and now he's just giving himself as much of a perimeter as possible, and he set himself up for a nice Porta Fortress use here. Oh no.
He's literally at the very edge of the storm wall. All right, I think it's go time. I think one of these players needs to use a Porta Fortress. It's time. Lay your kingdom down.
And was it the Vic, and who else has one?
I honestly, it's been so, I can't remember. There's been so much action.
2 members have a Porta Fortress right now. It's 2 separate Porta Fortresses that can be used, and he has it out.
He has it out.
Okay. Do it. I think he waits for the next circle. The next circle is a guaranteed.
You know what he could do?
Dimension.
So he can use it one of 2 ways. He can use it offensively to set himself a space to move into, or he can do this, and he literally is stopping players. They literally have to break through his metal walls before they cannot edit. Yep.
And it's built to 100%.
They have completion. Look at this. So now a bunch of players are caught in this thing. They have to break the walls. There's fire left and right. 9 players left. Look. Okay, so it was Solary. They have the second one.
It was.
And look, they can edit. That's what I'm talking about. You have the space, you have the walls, you make the edit, and you find eliminations.
Beautiful. They could not have made you look like more of a genius right there, because that's exactly what happened. What a great breakdown of action right now. Meanwhile, it is Domentos that still has high ground. His teammate Kinzel, I believe, was taken out in that engagement. But Domentos, again, someone has high ground over him. That's Sackner. He's gonna. Oh, that's his teammate. I apologize. I got so excited. I gotta look at these numbers better. I talk about being an observative viewer. I gotta do it better myself. My apologies there, but nice job by Domentos holding high ground. 2 med kits. They're in a great position.
Oh, he tried. That's another thing, man. You need to forget. You can't forget the Porta Fortress also has a larger area. Dementos, though, drops down, takes a hit from the spike trap. And look at this. It's just players raining down, loot raining from the heavens. It's a 1v3.
All
Sackner up top.
And he's not going to be in a good position here. He's outside of the storm. He knows it. He's medding up. Domentos, I think
he's trying to go for it. He's trying to go. He's up top. Can he find him? He's behind you.
Oh my goodness. Look at the action here. He's going to take out one. A 1 versus 1 for the win here. He's going to get taken out for a 2nd place finish. Oh my goodness. What an end right there. We need at least 5 minutes to break down what we just saw. That was brilliant Fortnite gameplay.
There was so much that just happened in that tiny moment of time.
Wow.
Okay, so we'll get some replays going in just a moment, but let's talk about, there was a lot of things that happened. So first off, the massive game changer was the 2 Porta Fortresses, right? The first one goes down and keeps people from moving the way they want to move, right? They have to sit there and break down those metal structures. The second one was the 2nd Porta Fortress.
Yep.
Solar guys put it down. Everyone's like, I'm going to move. I'm safe. And then he goes, I'm going to edit this wall. There's elimination. I'm going to put a spike trap here. I'm going to edit this. You fall through. Dementos, you get taken down. Here's my teammate. Yeah, Porta Fortresses. Wow.
Game changer. A lot of people were questioning how this would change the meta, how this would affect competitive Fortnite. I think those questions have been answered here in game number 3. I mean, the ability to use those 2 Porta Fortresses late game really do change absolutely everything. One big piece I want to break down was the very end game. We saw Dementos drop low side. I think that's a slight misplay on his end. Of course, he played phenomenal all game long, but you have 2 med kits, you have 14 bandages, and you have complete high ground. I like what they were going for there. It was a smart idea, leveraging the duo. So they said, hey, you stay high ground. I'm going to drop low side as the 1 member of Secret and go for some eliminations and try and make a hero play. You play for the win. Smart decision, actually. We used to do that very often back when I used to compete in Gears back in the day. It's a smart decision to make, but ultimately it did cost them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I agree. You know, if he had stayed high up top, he could have just gone to a heal off. They didn't really have much in the way of heals. Now, granted, they did have the shockwave grenade, so you saw they immediately changed elevations. They were able to get an advantage on this player. But, I mean, you're right, man. If Dementos had just literally stayed just across the way, he would have probably been fine. They could have taken it to a heal off. He had 2 med kits.
Yeah. And talk about the other item that was a game changer there. Not only the Porta Fortress, but the shockwave we saw, which ended up getting them the win, by the way. Unbelievable. There was too much to break down just in our discussion. We got to jump into some replays because that was just ridiculous.
So many highlights here in game number 3 of the EU scene. I mean, EU, I'm just always impressed. I just feel like they are incredible at adapting, and they make Fortnite their own. They make these decisions that, like it happens, and I'm just like, oh my god, what? Like, how did you do that? You know, I mean, And the thing is, everyone is like that.
Exactly.
Everyone is like that.
It's a very smart play. They're so intelligent, the Europeans. Not that their North American counterparts aren't, because they definitely are. But North America, we see a lot of hero plays. We see like the Ghost Gaming crew that's just so talented individually on the North American side. But EU, they just play so smart, so methodical. They play for each other, and it really shows.
Yeah. And I mean, I love with the addition of the duos, I mean, it really does change up the way Fortnite's played, right? You have to make a decision. So it's me and my partner, right? It's me and Follow. We're on a duo team, and I find ammo. Do I keep the ammo? Hey, Follow, do you need ammo? And you're like, dude, I need ammo, you know? Yeah. These are things that come into play, especially when your teammate goes down. Then you got to think about it. I like to think about it in numbers. If your teammate goes down, you're now at a 50% deficit.
That's a really good way to look at it.
Right? So it's like 50% of your power is now down, and now you have to make a decision. Do I go get my teammate up? Do I have to put myself in a weird position where I'm trying to save him? And especially with this format, it lends itself to securing elimination. So oftentimes, if someone goes down, they're probably going to be eliminated.
Yeah, I love the way you break that down. And that actually aligns with the same way we saw Courage and Dr. Lupo break things down at PAX West. We talked about resource management, right? Resourcing your materials, resourcing your HP, and really thinking of the game as a resource-based game. That's one more element to that. And I love the way you break that down. Your teammate's life is a resource, 50% less efficient, 50% less active with a teammate down. You got to be smart. You got to value your teammate's life, sometimes more than your own life.
Yeah.
And did you just commit to us being duos? But is that like a Valentine's Day ask?
Pretty much.
Are we a new duo?
Yeah, no, of course. That
awesome.
was I just figured.
Fortnite.
Yeah, I'm down all the time. When we get back, of course. I'll just play on I'm actually playing on my phone right now.
Yeah, sorry guys. While we're casting, it's actually really impressive. We play on our Android and our iPhone.
I'm actually in this game. I'm running around. No, I'm actually that'd be actually really funny. But dude, just so much things. All the new tools. I love seeing the grappler plays. I mean, I honestly want to see more grappler. I feel like people are maybe underutilizing them. That mobility tool, we kind of saw one of the players as the Jonesy skin. He was literally just changing elevation. Like, because the thing is, the grappler literally, as long as you're aiming at something, you can grapple to that and get above it. So if someone's like, I'm going to build and get high ground, you're like, sure, waste mats. One grapple shot for your 40, 50, 60 mats that you've wasted, and I still have high ground.
That's
so
my TSM Daquan voice. My high ground.
High ground.
Easily done. I love it. And you're right, though. People, I want to see the clips. Where are the Twitter clips? Where are the plays? Where are the grappler plays we're used to seeing on YouTube and on Twitter, and then, of course, in Twitch clips. Of course, people playing a little more passive here. They're not going for the hero plays as much, but I'd love to see it.
Yeah, for sure. What do you guys at home think? Hit us with the hashtag Fall Skirmish. Let us know how you're enjoying all the action. Make your predictions. What's your favorite club? Get us with the hashtag. You can see, there they are. Boom. What's your favorite team? What's your favorite team?
Lucky Llamas for days. Double L's, triple L's.
Double.
Lucky Llamas for days. I'm a big fan. Hope for a chance to represent one day myself.
You know what's also something that's worth talking about is the standings.
Yep.
Let's take a look. So right there at the top, you see Kinstar and Hunter with 14 total points. Right behind them, Jamside and SSK, Masta and Kaz in third, Skix, King Hopix in fourth, and Beehive and Bowman in fifth. And I mean, as you saw, Bowman with that second game heal off, those 3 points were huge. And I mean, again, look at the differences. There's so many forests here on the board. 1 point is literally going to send people into that 7th spot. Like these points, every single point matters.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, this is amazing to see, and it goes to show we could talk all day about big storylines like Vitality, Micah, and people like that, but it's actually Kinstar, a team we haven't talked much about, in first place with 14 points. I think a lot of that is elimination-based, so awesome. This Hold the Throne format is really paying off here. You get the additional 2 points if you're holding the throne at the end of your game if you have the most amount of eliminations.
And don't forget, at the very end of it all, whoever owns the throne at the end of things will also receive an additional prize outside of the placements. So, you know, and I mean, that's a great point. Kinstar, this guy's a monster. We've seen him time and time again show up, slay out. He is not, anytime you see someone and they're like, is that Kinstar? And they get eliminated, they're like, that was Kinstar. Dang it. He's just such a great player.
Yeah.
He's also incredibly consistent. That's one thing we've seen about him throughout the weeks is he does the same things, the same ways. He doesn't skip a beat. He doesn't miss. If you give him an opportunity, he's going to take that inch and turn it into a mile. Okay. That's Kinstar.
I love it. And I would compare him to maybe a Not Vivid, Liquid Vivid on the North American side. Just always performs, always consistently at the top, and always able to hit his shots and connect when it matters the most. Kinstar, of course, has performed today, and of course, many of those summer skirmishes as well.
You'll love to see it, guys. Don't forget to hit us with that hashtag. What do you think of all the action? How are you enjoying it? Hashtag Fall Skirmish.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. And, of course, let us know, too. Tag us as well so we can read some of your responses and check out the action. We'll, of course, keep up with the hashtag as much as we can, but a lot easier when we can check it out in our timelines as well.
Yeah, for sure. And don't forget to at Fallout, you're amazing. I love you. .. At Zekemus Prime sent me.
Oh, don't forget
Give
the
him
last
love.
part of that. Hashtag Zeke for PM.
That's not.
Everybody, Zeke for PM at Zekemus Prime on Twitter. My friends, I'm sorry, it's like a love show now. We talked about Valentine's Day earlier. We're a new duo. It's a new love. We're in the honeymoon phase, but it's been a lot of fun here so far. We've really had a blast. I gotta check if there's any alpha pose selfies.
I mean, we saw Alpha win game 3, and he just ended the game like this, and that's slow mo. I mean. Dude, I just thought about it, too. We have 3 more games.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
We're going to be hopping into game number 3 here shortly,
We have 6 more games after that. I love it.
Yeah, we have 6 NA games later today.
It's like a holiday. Sometimes for holidays like Christmas, Valentine's, you have it once a year. We get a Fortnite holiday every single Friday, and now 3 days within the week potentially as well. It is awesome. Awesome stuff.
Absolutely. So here we go, hopping into game number 4. I mean, here we go. Is there anything you're hoping to see these players do differently?
Here's one thing in particular I'd love to see just from a pure entertainment casting standpoint. Let me know in the chat and, of course, on Twitter using Fall Skirmish as the hashtag if you'd like to see it as well. Tilted Towers. We've seen one team drop there every single game. I want some confidence. I want some tilted fights. We know it's Aiden's Towers or Nick's Towers on the North American side. Europe, who's going to claim those towers today? I would love to see some Tilted Towers fights if we get it.
I think what it is they're scared. They go to Tilted Towers, and they know Nick and Aiden aren't in this lobby. But I think there's maybe this, fear. It's like, maybe if we go there, are they just going to show up? Am I going to open a door and Aiden's just there?
It's like a mini-boss fight.
Exactly. It's probably what it is.
And it's, flexing his traps, and next thing you know, you have no shields. It's like... Interesting stuff. That's a good point.
For sure.
Maybe that does happen. Anything can happen. We have a cube that melted in the lake that made it bouncy. And Nick can appear in Tilted Towers any day. It really could happen.
Absolutely. I mean, he just shows up with all his muscles, and he's like, hey, how's it going? Oh, my gosh. We just saw the clingers go out. Okay. Oh,
beautiful. And I love what we saw right there from the Reaper skin is the ability to use right-hand advantage. And that's something that's not talked about enough in competitive Fortnite. It's a third-person game, which is brilliant. Gives you a wide-angle view and means you have a slight advantage when you're fighting to your right side than you do fighting to your left. Some players can use that to peek, can use that to hold an advantage, and you can really see the entire opponent in entirety without them seeing any of you or maybe just your arm. It's a beautiful, beautiful power play and something that we don't see happen enough, I don't think, or talked about enough here at the commentary level.
There you go. So if you're looking to level up your gameplay, take advice from Fallout. Learn to utilize the right side of the screen because he's absolutely right. You get so much advantage out of that. But look at this point-blank fights. Oh, Fnatic Power finds himself an elimination there of that Vitality Edge, but immediately Yoshi from Solary is here and cracks back with an SMG.
Brilliant third partying right there from Solary. You hear a fight going on, maybe across the street. You know something's happening. You know they're going to be weak. They're going to be tagged up from the damage that's done. You got to follow that up immediately. I like the confidence early on from Solary, and they're going to come out on top in the Salty Springs fight. I also love what I saw from Fnatic there. I think that was a member of Fnatic in Salty Springs. He knew that Vitality Ads was hurt, and he, again, brilliant use of resource management, knew that he had more resources, or more HP in this case, to take that fight with confidence and come out on top. Brilliant play from Fnatic before they got taken out by the likes of Solary.
That's right. Now their other dual partners, Fnatic Ethnix and Jarl, are here in Viking Village or Valhalla Village. I don't know, what do you call this place?
Viking Village personally, by default, but Valhalla, I like both. You're the same. See, you're always on the same page.
Yeah, Viking Village, dog. I try to coin things and name places before anyone else. It doesn't always work, but you know.
You've done a couple of them.
Viking Village, I think, has been the only one.
You're a Twitch emote or a meme on Twitter. So I've seen a lot of that stuff.
Oh,
it's pretty cool.
God.
It's happening.
Oh, no. This is my life now. But you know what Severin's life is right now is trying to secure this elimination, which he does.
And not easy to do against the likes of Fnatic. Well done from Severin. Severin, who is really a breakout player on the European side. I expect big things from this young man. He has been such a phenomenal performer. Played at PAX West, did not qualify, unfortunately, but I think we're going to see big things out of him. And here's that third party from Solary with such aggression, such speed, and agility. They take that 2 versus 1 third party, and they come out on top.
And I love just the way they breach and clear. They both go in, and they just say, we're going to commit, we're going to take this wall down, and we're just going to take this player and take that elimination for ourselves. Thank you very much.
And I love that. From duos, you see a lot of different styles of play in kind of in meta games or in mid games. You see sometimes a bait and switch. Sometimes you have to make the decision like they just did right there. We need to play with aggression. We need to barrel stuff or get in the face of the opponent and play with aggression. That's exactly what they did right there. So a little bit of a power play, smart power play right there from the Solary team as they come out with the elimination and Salty Springs as a result.
points, right? Back over to Pleasant Park. Soldier MZQ goes down. It was Windwalker here who takes him down and confirms the elimination there. So now it's Airwalks here as well. And it looks like they're just going to own Pleasant Park. There's one more player. Remember, this spectator client gives us more information. So whenever you're looking at the top right, you can see all the players within the vicinity. So we can very clearly see it was Lothar who's up front there. And unfortunately, he is taken down. That is another elimination heading their way. But for a moment there, we saw players peeking down on the, what is that, northwest, or rather southwest of the map. With 71 players left. Man, this is just changing. There's action happening all over the map.
Left, right, and center. I love it. And look at this. Solary is representing today. How many Solary players are competing? A big shout out to them as it's a testament to their skill. Meanwhile, Mitro picking up an elimination at the bottom left of your screen. Senpai getting taken out as well in this one. It's been really, really exciting to see a lot of this gameplay so far.
And now taking out the overhead map. I mean, we now know where the next circle is going to be. It's going to be closer down to the lower half of the map, which is good. But just take a look at all the teams. They're still pretty evenly spread out. You know, you've talked about this a lot, Fallout, and that is making early rotations. We see people all the way out in Junction. They need to start making their way over. It's a far walk unless they have a rift to go. There is a rift near Junction, just down south there a little ways. But look at this, a huge hit. Airwalks hits Airwalker for 40 damage at range.
Airwalks versus Windwalker. I love it. Interesting, interesting play on names here.
Airwalks and Windwalker.
Interesting play on names here in this one. I like the use of the bounce pad right there. I'm still at the point where I'm not used to that Porta Fortress. I forget that there's bounce pads since I'm so used to the Porta Fort, and I'll accidentally drop and fly across the map. Of course, Airwalks, a pro player, is more than familiar with the function of that new item. He's been putting a lot of practice time in and grinding and getting ready for this one. Here we go. Interesting engagement. One-on-one. Windwalker's ready for it. The build-off is about to ensue. Windwalker does have height advantage. He's going to tag him up for about 60 HP right there. Well played from Windwalker as the battle of the walks, or the walkers. Currently Windwalker on top.
Everyone is trying to commit and say, I am the better wind user of some kind.
Air, wind, all sorts of elements at play here, and Windwalker now loses his advantage. And how much HP does Airwalks have? 10 HP, and he comes out on top in that engagement. Well played. Wow. And air greater than wind, it's official. Hashtag, tweet it out, air is officially the superior wind.
It's so much fun casting with you. Over to Lucky Landing, Skype and Camo against Unique Marijuana here. I mean, we saw Marijuana show up last game doing very impressive things. So now, you know, who do you think takes this fight? Especially now that they have a zone advantage. They're at the edge of the map. They don't really have to, they can basically take their time, if you will.
Yeah, I like the situation that Marijuana's in. He currently has a big shield to his name, purple heavy shotgun, SMG right after that. It's, of course, a blue SMG, and full health, full shields for both of them. Here's the thing, though. Sometimes you're not aware. They don't get the little marker, an indicator of the opponent's health that we get. So they don't know that the Ghost and Skite team are weak right now, and that's why they're not playing with such aggression. I wish they did have that intel, because they'd be playing a lot more aggressive right now. But I think Unique's in a good position right now.
Definitely. So now 30 seconds left until the storm overtakes its current area. We see, oh my gosh, there's actually players out at the very edges of the storm right now. People are in Tilted Towers making their way in. And now this is where things are going to slow down for a moment. We've got 64 players left in the current lobby. It's the next safe zone that we get where players are going to have to start migrating, start figuring out where it is they need to go to get safe. But Incline sees Camo up top. And he's going to try and take a shot. Probably offshot too. I mean, they're up in the sky. It's a pretty tough shot to make. So, but Dav goes down to Holly Gamers. She's going to look to secure the elimination. There you go.
Played from him, his teammate, Mr. Kororo, who we were very impressed by in game number 2, is going to come out with the elimination as well. So 2 separate 1-versus-1 fights, and it comes out. It works out for them. Meanwhile, big fight ensuing. It's Marijuana and his teammate against Ghost. Ghost is tagged up here in this one. Skite's going to get tagged up as well. So a good position. Once again, we talked about the advantage that they had. Now it's even greater. And Clyde's going to pick up one. He's going to die to fall damage. Oh my goodness. And he gets knocked to fall damage. So knocked down right now.
Oh gosh.
It looks like he'll be able to get the revive. He should be okay.
He's like, look, I'm going to pick up this loot before I come and get you. I love you, but I'm going to... He's trying to open the door. He can't open the door because his teammate... There you go. All right, go inside. It's okay. It's okay, my love. Get inside.
Go. Ghost.
Okay. All right.
Camo. Playing with aggression here. He knows the revive's coming. Marwana's just going to bait the revive here. So interesting situation now. Will Ghost go all out?
Dude, I think he goes for. Oh, he's not going for it.
He can hear. Camo can hear it right now if he goes to the revive. So it's too late for that. Or he can bait it though. He can easily click the revive button, which is most likely E in his case, and then be able to stay alive, stop reviving, and bait the push from Camo. How's he going to play this one?
He gets the revive off.
You're right.
Yep.
Wow.
Camo maybe played it a little too safely there. He's just trying to find out information. So as you can see, but that means that he's able to get his teammate up.
And you're right, that's what he did. But I mean, he has all the information he needs. He knows one's knocked. He needs to play a little more aggressive there, in my opinion. But of course, easier said than done. From my purview, a lot more at stake here for him. He gets taken out.
Ooh, and he goes down there. I mean, Marwana playing it really well there. Look at that. Now his teammate Inclide's up as well. They just heal, top off, collect loot, and
on the edge of the island as well.
Yeah.
In a great position here. We talked about it earlier, and they ended up coming out on top after we did call how good of a position they were in. Now, big fight going on over here. Boy. Rocket launch in the hands of Mitro. Mitro, he's been a performer and a blast to watch so far. Nice building as well. And he's going to get high ground. Well played from Mitro. Close to losing that high ground, though, but he maintains. Misses that first shot, trying to connect here. Looks like one teammate is down low side. Mitro gets tagged up, pretty weak here. He's still building up higher and higher into the sky now. Goes Mitro. He says, I'm out of here. Rift to go. Is someone else going to grab that? No, he's out. Well played.
He is out. I think that was the best play you could have made. You know, his teammate was down.
Look at that.
Yeah, the Storm is going to start making his way. And look, as you can tell from the spectator mode here, there's also two other teams there pinching that team that he was engaged with. So it's just best to cut your losses, say, look, teammate, I'm sorry. I need to play for another day, though. We need points.
Well said.
And look at that. Svenos goes down here in this replay, and he had a Port of Fortress.
Wow.
Boy, oh boy.
Massive, massive. Meanwhile, Kinzel playing with Svenos. So Svenos' teammate here, left in 1 versus 1. He wants that Port of Fortress back. Jetpacks can't take it if he wants to. He's going to edit. And what a fight this has been so far. Of course, the winner will be rewarded with the Port of Fortress here. As Kinzel using that grappler to get high ground, but almost takes some fall damage there instead. Martin is down. Not sure if he realizes it.
Man, he's just doing a So he was doing a great job of keeping Jetpacks from getting his teammate up. The pressure was great there, but Jetpacks was just prepared for it, takes a shot. Yep. And he secures the elimination.
And not necessarily what Kinzel did wrong, it's what Jetpacks did so well. I love the aggression from Jetpacks. Under pressure, your teammate's down and just a few seconds away from getting eliminated due to down but not out damage, and instead he's able to stay alive. Well played.
Yeah, man. You could tell he was very calm, and that led to him being able to revive his teammate. And now they both top off with a med kit. You love to see it.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You love to see it.
But back in the action here.
But as we saw from the mini-map, players are still starting to move in. We've got 44 players left alive in this lobby. We got a bunch of teams here in Dusty. We got a few in retail. Salty Springs is currently a hotspot, and more teammates are going to be starting to make their way over there. Pate 1K is here trying to engage a player. He's so low. Oh man, if he had decided to engage there, he would have been met with a trap. So very well played there. Not just trying to run through as quickly as possible. Just, again, it's this methodical play we see coming out of EU. Everything feels so precise. It feels so tight.
Yep.
They're just constantly on top of things and making these, honestly, impressive decisions.
Yeah, completely agreed. Well played. The entire European region. A big shout out to European Fortnite. Be proud and rep it proud here as you're representing the entire region, entire continent. Awesome stuff. Meanwhile, on board with Kingwin, Heisel. He's currently just trying to get the ownership of as much as he can and trying to stay alive and catacomb himself towards the mid-ground.
And now we get the new safe zone, which is Dusty Divot. Look at this, man. Look how many teams are here inside Dusty. Now this has become a safe zone, which is good, but you don't want to fight inside trees, and you don't want to basically be in a giant bowl with other people that you can't necessarily leave whenever you want. We're going to see some action very soon here. Oh, wild card Alpha as well, still in this game. We saw him with the Alpha pose coming in earlier.
I love it. Awesome stuff here. So VP 7S SK7 in a big fight here. I think it might be a 1 versus 2 fight. Needs to be a little cautious. Meanwhile, I'm going to jump on board with Iran, who's just going to box himself out here. SK7 picks up the kill on Le, gets the elimination on Le, and just like that, it was actually 2v1 in favor of the VP team. Well played by them.
Man, 25 seconds before the Storm starts to move yet again, Fallout. I mean, we still have 41 players, so we saw that last game as well. I mean, these lobbies are still so full and so stacked of players. But I mean, look, a lot of the players have actually made their way. If we can take a look at the mini-map here in just a moment, a lot of players are actually within the safe zone. There's only a few teams that are out with outside of the circle. I mean, look, so these are a lot of them right here in Salty Springs. I mean, look at that. So many teams are just fine. They're in Dusty. They're just waiting. But there's a lot of that space up top that's unused.
Yeah,
I mean, players might want to just, I mean, well,
Again,
here's the back and forth, right? You could say, okay, well, if I'm, say, that team that's just in front of you, Ron, I could take that north side and just relax.
Yep.
But they've got center circle. So they're making these early rotations, right? The moment that circle then collapses, they get to know exactly when the next circle is going to be.
This map is brilliant because this map purely shows the importance of early rotations. And the point that we were making before is only 2 or 3 teams rotate center circle here. Look how many people are on the outskirts. That fight in Dusty Divot on the outskirts of that circle, thinking that they're safe. You're not nearly as safe as you think you are. Get center of the circle. Literally, create. Use your marker, the brilliant new marker system in Fortnite to put a marker center circle, get there ASAP, and build yourself a 1x1. And now this big fight in Dusty Divot is going to result in a lot of eliminations here.
Jam side here. And again, this is just outside of Retail Row. Now he's pretty okay, right? He's going to top off with some shields. He's got 1 elimination. And hopefully his teammate has some, because don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, everyone's fighting for eliminations. If their duo can find 4 eliminations, they get a point. At 6, they get 2, and at 8, they get 3. And man, the scoreboard right now is very close.
41 people still on the island and left to fight for these final few circles. Looks like some important minis are going to be picked up right there by Jam side. And Clyde right below him. Sop's going to pick up an elimination on Martin, and Tixi getting one as well at the bottom left of your screen right there. And it looks like people are finally starting to disperse a little bit. Want to see those early rotations come through. Tixi going to continue to pop off with the elimination on Kidstar.
Oh, wow. So they that was actually a sick play. So they box in an area and drop grenades within that area. So the moment that one goes off, the rest are going to fall in and start blowing up and cascading, essentially destroying everything.
Yep. Mirwana now. We saw him earlier making plays, representing Unique against Jamside in a big fight here. Mirwana's going to go down, actually, so it's all up to Clyde. And Clyde all by himself. It's going to be Wildcard Bowman who picks up the elimination. He, of course, was also at PAX West in Seattle and qualified, I believe, for Monday in the finals in that one. All up to Clyde here. Ooh, couple grenades. Of course, no friendly fire, so he'll be safe to launch those as pretty well.
And you heard those sounds. He's definitely popped the shields of a player down below. And man, is that SSK looking at me? He's like no HP at all. They're trying to secure this elimination. SSK goes down. It's in Clyde. He just needs to be very careful.
Can you believe it? In Clyde, in a 1 versus 2, takes out one. All left to a 1 versus 1 against Jamside here. Can Clyde do it? Can he be a hero for his teammate Mirwana, who was taken down earlier? All on board with Jamside, and Jamside's going to connect for the elimination. And Clyde did not pick up the elim on SK7, so that's going to be a revive and 1 less elimination for Clyde right there. That might have been enough to pick up an additional point. Wow, interesting way that action broke down.
Huge clutch coming out from Jamside. He gets his teammate up, and they're live to fight another day. Or as Nick A30 once said, you live to be eliminated another day. Which, that stuck with me for pretty much since he said it.
Yep, that is a very valid point. Unless, fight or be eliminated, unless you're, of course, taking home that victory royale, which is always very sweet.
Exactly. But man, look, so we're now 30 seconds here before this next safe zone will show itself. Again, this spectator client is magnificent. I mean, taking a look at the top right, you can see exactly what players are. Now, keep in mind, we can see that, they cannot see that. So this is just information for us. But man,
grenade right there. And the international basketball fans, that was a beautiful LeBron James-esque grenade for Giannis Antetokounmpo if we're talking Europe. Well placed right there. Beautiful, beautiful plays from Vermax. He picks out one down, and I believe got the elimination as well.
Look at that. There's just so many players there. He could just keep chucking grenades and potentially find an elimination.
Beautiful.
They opted to throw him
mid-flight.
Oh, dude, that would have been crazy.
That would have been like a fadeaway jumper.
Yeah, exactly. And then he just finds like 5 eliminations, and we lose our minds.
I would lose it. You're right. And that's we haven't seen grenades being really held to late game. A lot of people don't opt to hold on to those grenades, at least so far of what we've seen today.
Yeah.
And I love it. Uncommon item that still has some great late game potential, and we're showing right there why they're important for Max, showcasing a variety of gameplay.
Just so much craziness happening here in the final few circles of the game. 28.
And the Vic sitting in a great spot right now with full health, full shields. He, of course, is representing the club Fortnites. You know, like I said, this is Game 4, by the way. I did mention earlier on in the broadcast, you have until the end of Game 4 to pick your allegiance, to pick your loyalties. Which club will you represent? Oh, God.
Whoa! Okay, it's okay. We're fine.
Real scary.
Everything's good.
And a good way to pick your club is find your favorite player and cheer them on, cheer on that club. Maybe your favorite group of players. We'll keep feeding you information as to who's representing what. Of course, find these players' Twitters. They've all announced it most likely, and for the most part on Twitter as well, which clubs they're part of. But the Vic, who's been playing really well, part of Fortnite's, looking to be in a good spot here.
And still, man, we still have 28 players left.
Yep.
Nothing has happened. There's been shots. There's been a little bit of things happening. Oh, Bowman moving forward with that bouncer. That's a great way to cover some distance because now look, now the Storm actually is on its way.
Yep.
It's going to start overtaking this area and shifting. So players are going to start scrambling. They need to get safe as quickly as possible. But now these players just play gatekeeper.
Yeah, and can you believe that? Bowman and Beehive's able to rotate all the way to center circle without taking much damage at all. It goes to show good movement and good mobility items can really help you succeed. Those bounce pads right there really help them out. And look at the mini-map and this beautiful spectator mode. The top right of your screen, you see so many arrows, so much activity. And what a different late game we saw than game number 1, where really no one was mid-ground, no one was high ground. This time the exact opposite is we see these brilliant structures built.
All the gamers up top was taking shots. We've got a bunch of players down low, and now Fallout, we're going to get a brand new safe zone. I didn't want to say it, but basically I was going to say I hope it doesn't move outside the current zone. So that was an addition we saw with this last season rather. It was that storms can now, the safe zone can move outside into the storm. And it basically forces players to move, right? People can't just say, I'm going to box up and be safe here. It's like, no, I actually have to reassess what's going on. And we have to make our way to this new safe zone with 30 seconds left to get Wildcard Alpha with like 3 HP.
Unbelievable.
Strike the pose. Wildcard.
Imagine in the middle of all that.
Just really quickly.
He gets eliminated striking the pose. That would have been crazy. But yeah, you're right. This is as max of a rotation of the circle and the final storm as it gets. You have to run cross map. Be tight here, and I expect a lot of crazy pushes as everyone will be flowing almost like a swarm, an army of ants pushing towards that final circle. And there you have it, a double elimination by Vic with a clinger grenade. Only one left. He threw 2 and he picks up 2. Beautiful plays right here, and here comes the swarm of ants as mentioned before.
They are now trying to make their way to safety. As you can see from this view here, I mean, look at this. Everyone is literally scrambling. They're building on top of each other. They're cutting each other off. They're changing elevations. I mean, look, Vic is trying to join in on this fight. He sees a player there engaged with another. And here within 5 seconds, we'll finally land in the current new safe zone. And then yet again, Fallout, we're going to see a brand new, look at this. Again, it moves on top of that Fallout. It moves on the very lip of the Dusty Divot. So they have to go up and over this.
Oh my gosh, it'll be crazy.
This is going to spell disaster for a lot of players.
I absolutely love it. This is almost like New York City on a busy traffic day, as none of these players have any regard for one another. They are flying and they have their own agendas. Or more like West Virginia, given the amount of hills that they have to climb here in Dusty Divot.
Yeah, that's fair, man.
I gotta the Alps, maybe. I gotta use some more European references. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
London on a busy day, maybe instead it's the Alps. There you go. Sorry, friends.
We've only got 18 players left, Fallout. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the current format is hold the throne. So players are fighting for points. Victory is worth 3 points. Second or third is worth 2, and fourth and fifth are worth 1. And don't forget about those elimination thresholds. These duo teams are looking for as many eliminations as possible. At 4 points to get, or 4 eliminations to get 1 point. 6 eliminations is 2, and 8 eliminations, man, set 3.
Crazy. Now we're seeing it. The mountain is literally blocking people from progressing forward. And there you have it, a nice flank to come through from the Vic. The Vic is still alive, and he finally gets eliminated. All down to 15 people. We were just at 18 just a minute ago. Make that 14. Trap plays are coming in. These players are clutching up when it matters the most. On board with Beehive. And look at Miz sitting top circle, the early rotation, and a shockwave grenade's gonna come through, but he's in a great spot to be able to stay alive and value his life here.
Now, oh my gosh, Fallout. The Storm just moved again, and it's back down where they came from.
Oh my goodness.
The Storm is just playing games right now. We've got 10 players left, and look, the remote explosives coming down. There's a player going down. This is, I mean, this is coming down to the wire. 9 players left. There goes Taboo, takes down DK.
Yep.
And Hunter.
A minigun with 800 rounds of ammunition with Miz and a rocket launcher. He has high ground. He has a minigun. We don't see this end game loadout very often, and Miz is making it work brilliantly.
Oh, no. That was so close. He almost fell down. It's okay, though. Dude, honestly, I feel like he just needs to start firing straight down. Fire all your rockets. Just force people to use mats, force them to change elevation.
I love this. He's making them run out of mats here. And save the rockets for late game on the rotation where you can catch people off guard.
Oh.
Or for that, no, not enough.
Close. He was almost able to thread the needle there.
Yeah, and that's one thing. People think the rockets are very easy to use. There's an element of skill with the rockets that people don't realize. A lot of people use them and just launch it at cover. You want to hit the sides of cover to get eliminations with the rockets. Be patient with them instead. It's a waste of a rocket if you just throw it at cover and break cover, because someone's just going to rebuild right after that, like that.
Taboo goes down, and yet again, M11 is just up top with his teammate. They're firing down. They need to do something. They need to get here.
No heals. They don't have to go.
Nothing.
Here comes the fight.
Everyone's in a bull. Wait, what happened?
He won. Miz won.
Did Miz find? Oh, wow. That was absolutely crazy. You can see his teammate sitting right in front of him. Okay.
Crazy.
Okay, okay. That was a lot of things that we just witnessed, okay? Man,
again,
EU makes this fun to break down, but man, they do so much all at once. Okay, so basically what we saw is they were up top, using the minigun to lay cover fire from up top, and then they decided, okay, look, we have to make a play. We don't have any heals. They jump down, and the player with the minigun goes down, but it's okay because his teammate is there. Everyone else is literally sitting there in a 1-by-1, all hopping around taking shots, and his teammate's like, I got it. Just go down there. Just distract him for a second. And they secure the win.
Yeah, and one thing I absolutely loved about that entire scenario is the awareness by Miz and his teammate. They recognize, and of course we didn't hear their comms, but something tells me it was beautiful communication. They recognize, hey, we don't have heals in our inventory. We're not going to survive a heal battle like we saw in Game 1 and Game 2. We need to play for eliminations. We need to play aggressive. We saw them drop and do exactly that. They come out on top and are rewarded for their aggression and their awareness, recognizing they're not going to win the heal battle. Smart plays right there from Miz.
Just an unbelievable game. Was that Game 4?
Game 4.
I can't even, like, dude, it's just been, it feels like one big blur, but man, the action has been insane. What do you guys at home think? Hit us with that hashtag Fall Skirmish. I mean,
we talked about it. By the end of Game 4, we wanted some allegiances. We want you to pick your club. This is the time.
It should be here.
Right here. Right now.
They should say, there it is.
Boom.
Pick your allegiance. And you remember, you have to tweet at Fallout and at me and Fortnite and Summer Skirmish, and talk about how awesome Fallout is.
And Zeke for PM.
Nope.
Just wrap it up. Don't think.
I was trying to.
Right now, we want to know which club will you tag your allegiance to? Let us know on Twitter, hashtag Fall Skirmish, and tweet about the action. Pick your loyalty. And not only that, you have a chance to actually create a submission to be a part of your favorite club. Awesome opportunities. A big shout out to Epic Games for this format. It is beautiful. It is brilliant. And I hope to be a lucky llama.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Don't forget, like he's talking about, you can make a formal submission. Tell us why you should be on which team and why. And who knows, you might be joining a team. Maybe we're going to see Fallout and Lucky Llamas in a few weeks. I don't know. Well, we got to see. Make a submission.
Yep. People are getting tattoos. Here's the level of where this is at. People are getting tattoos. People are literally going all out right now. It's been amazing to see.
Yeah. Let's check out the final moments coming in from that last game. So this is actually from his teammates' perspective there. I mean, there was just so much that happened. Like I talked about, everyone's just sitting there in a bowl, and Skewer has jumped down. Woo! That was only our 4th game of the day.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. And then we got 6 more after that in the North American side of things. What a day it has been. And that's why I love me some endgame Fortnite. You don't have a chance or an opportunity very often playing in public matches to get to such intense endgames. Only here, only on Fridays, and only in this private server, highly competitive format. When we see the best players in the world play, you get to see a treat in the form of endgame Fortnite. It's brilliant. You know it. You love it. And, of course, if you're a competitor yourself, you want to compete, you'll have your chance to here in the next couple of months. Epic has announced some really cool things coming to online matchmaking and competitive play soon.
Woo! Can't wait. I'm not going to spoil anything.
I can't wait.
Can't wait.
I'm jealous.
But yeah, man. I mean, what are your thoughts so far? We've got 4 games under our belt. We've also got additional replays to take a look at. But what do you think about the game so far?
Yeah, we've seen some amazing things. I mean, check out the action, the level of skill that's been on display, but really the battle of the nature elements there. But really, to me, it's been not only the battle of skill and a display of skill, it's been a display of intelligence. And this European scene is known for being so methodical, so brilliant in their gameplay, and it has really shown.
Absolutely, man. So it's just been a blast getting to cast this game and getting to cast alongside you. I mean, the action is there. We get to see these incredible plays. I love that all these things we talked about, the grapple, the shockwave grenade, the Porta Fortress, the Silence AR, all these things have been a factor. We haven't seen a Loot Lake bounce. Yep. I need everyone to start gathering around Loot Lake, okay?
Please. Channel your energy, so hopefully we get a Loot Lake finish. And look at this end game was just brilliant. Miz and his teammate recognized, I think it was G-Master, his teammate, they recognized they got to drop, they got to play with aggression, and that aggression paid off. They get a victory royale, which, by the way, 3 points for a victory royale. Yep. That's going to put them in a pretty good spot here. Of course, top 10 get paid out for this event in addition to the many events to come.
Absolutely. So the top 10 duos, man. It's fun. I mean, what do you guys think of this format? How are you enjoying Hold the Throne? What do you think about the Fortnite Fall Skirmish? What do you think about all the clubs? I mean, there's so much to talk about. We want to hear from you guys, so don't forget to hit us with that hashtag Fall Skirmish. Let us know your thoughts. We love having a conversation with all of you guys. We love hearing what you have to say. Because at the end of the day, we do this all for you.
Yeah.
So,
and give us some feedback as well. We would love to hear any feedback on the commentary, positive, negative, things we could do better. We'd love to hear that feedback. And we of course, want to make this as amazing of a show as possible for you guys. We're all equally as massive fans of Fortnite as you are here.
Definitely.
It's really awesome to see. And we want to make sure we can provide the best broadcast experience. And man, the gameplay has delivered. These players have performed time and time again, 4 matches in a row here. It's been brilliant to see.
Yeah, man, it's super fun getting to level up as a unit, having the Fortnite community level up, and then obviously having the Skirmish series, level up as well. I mean, it's super fun. I mean, if you're tuning in and you probably don't know what's going on, let's reiterate some things. So, first off, welcome to the Fortnite Fall Skirmish. Hello, we're back. We're doing things a little differently. We've got these clubs, so now there's 5 clubs that we have participants participating in. Yeah, there you go. That's the word. So we've got the Fortnite. So each club has 100 participants, and 20 of those participants per each club will participate. That's a lot of. I'm sorry. That's a lot of P words there.
A lot of
are going to compete every Friday. So here you've got the Fortnites. You've got the Bush Bandit. We also have the Lucky Llamas, Dusty Dogs, Rift Raiders. There's a lot of clubs.
The Lucky Llamas. You saved the best for last, my friend. And keep a close eye
I did that for you.
Come on, man. You know how to set me up. Keep an eye here on these players as it's scrolling by. Find some of your favorite players. Find your favorite streamers, your content creators, YouTubers, pro players, etc. And then pick maybe your allegiance based off of that. That's my recommendation. That's what I did. And look at this. You guys, some great players represent that beautiful, beautiful Lucky Llamas.
I mean, I don't see your name on there yet.
Oh, can I go to Europe?
I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll see Fortnite on Lucky Llamas. I mean, don't forget you can make a formal submission. Let us know why you think you should be part of one of these teams. Now, the best part I think about the addition of the clubs themselves is the fact that not only are 20 members of each club competing every week, right? So they're all competing for money. But at the end of it, during the week, they're also participating in weekly trials. These trials are different things, right? Monday this week we've got squad goals. We've got things like ATK racing, golf. I mean, not only are people competing at these high levels, but they get to just enjoy Fortnite and have fun. And then the club at the end of it all, at the end of the 6 weeks, is also going to be awarded a cash prize. So it's basically everyone wins. Everyone gets to have a great time while playing Fortnite, and you guys get to have a great time watching it.
Yeah, speaking of that,
and listening to me being a goon.
Being awesome.
I'm a goon.
The Prime Minister of all of Europe. And speaking of which, let's take a look. Speaking of prizes, let's take a look at the standings and see where things currently are at.
Man.
Keep in mind, top 10 gets paid out for this week and this format. Still in first place are none other than Kinstar and Hunter. Right behind them, Masta and Kaz with 14 points. Jamside and SK7 with 11 immediately following. But after that performance, it's Zur and Miz with 9 points to their name.
Dude, you'll love to see it. We talked about Kinstar and Hunter. I mean, these guys are legend. They literally competed all Summer Skirmish series long, again, with these alliteration things. Words. But man, they're just titans, and they are getting points based on elimination. So the cool thing about Hold the Throne is that it lends itself to two different types of play styles. We see the points in the victory house and placing in top 5, and then we see points coming out from the eliminations. And Kinstar and Hunter are making those eliminations matter. They're making every single point count, and that's why they're all the way at the top. We only have 2 games left to play.
Yeah, which is awesome. And we saw it at Summer Skirmish at PAX West. This gives the opportunity for the likes of aggressive players, Tilted Towers droppers, which, by the way, Europe, I still want to see you drop some Tilted in these last 2 matches. It gives you a chance to compete and really be up there in the standings. People like Ghost Aiden didn't necessarily get a lot of top 5, top 10 finishes in placement, but at the end of the day, there's different ways to play this game, and we're really celebrating that, which is awesome. So players like Ghost Aiden, Nick Merckx, that like to play for eliminations and really put on a show for us, get to be rewarded, and Kinstar is a great example of that in Europe.
Yeah, man, I couldn't agree with you more, and I couldn't have said it better myself, but fallout with that, we're going to take a break. So, ladies and gentlemen, get up, stretch, go get yourself a snack on, something to drink. Stay tuned because we have more action heading your way after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just say, you look beautiful. Thanks for being here with us. You look great. Did you lose weight? Did you just get a victory out? You just got a victory out. That's why you look so good.
While
I'm
watching
Zeke.
Fall Skirmish.
Yeah, absolutely. Unbelievable. I'm Zeke. That's Fallout. And hey, how's it going? We missed you. I thought about you all break. I'm glad to be back here with you. And of course, my best friend here, Fallout. Someone tweeted, well, you guys, first of all, let's just talk about all the tweets, man.
Oh, amazing. Every single one of you guys.
We just take time between breaks and we just read the crazy stuff you guys send us. So thank you guys so much. Like this is half of the fun. Half of the fun is getting, well, okay, let's break this down. 33% of the fun is getting to cast the games for you. 33% of the game is getting to hang out with cool casters like Fallout. Writing down. And then 33% of the time is getting to hang out and talk about cool things with you because I like to hear what you have to say. Now, what were those numbers?
So total 99%. There's 1% left if you want to dictate
1% is how many of you believe Fallout should be on Lucky Llamas. Let me get a hashtag Fall Skirmish if you believe he should be on the Lucky Llamas. There he is. Look at that. Beautiful, man. Woo! Beautiful. But if you're joining us and you have no idea what's going on, hi, this is the Fall Skirmish. We do cool things here. First, let's talk about the format, which this week is called Hold the Throne. Every week it changes. But we're starting off strong with Hold the Throne. So victory rounds are worth 3 points. Second and third are worth 2 points. And fourth and fifth are worth 1 point. Fallout. Eliminations.
Yep. Talk about how big have those elimination points been so far in this one. I hope to see the same over on the North American side as well. But the players that have played aggressive, played for eliminations, have been rewarded. Of course, the players that are playing for placement are also getting rewarded too. It's a nice balance here, but it's awesome to see the variety of playstyles.
Definitely. I mean, there's a lot of money here on the line. I mean, if you want to maybe touch on that a little bit.
Oh, of course, $67,500 US and 305 club points. Very important. We'll touch on that in a bit. Available for the first place finisher all the way down to 10th place. Top 10 duos will get some nice prizes to go home with. Of course, hundreds of people were rewarded in Summer Skirmish with cash prizes. A couple hundred more to be rewarded for Fall Skirmish. It is amazing to see where competitive Fortnite is going.
Absolutely, man. And as you saw, not only are people going to be awarded with the prize pool, there's also club points. So these clubs, there's this new thing we're doing in the Fall Skirmish. So we got 5 clubs to go through. We've got the Rift Raiders, we've got the Fortnite, Lucky Llamas, the Bush Bandits, and the Dusty Dogs. They're all trying to compete for points, and at the end of 6 weeks, the club with the most points gets a nice little bonus. So it's pretty cool. A lot of players get to compete in the Friday competitive and during the week for additional prizes. So on top of that, let's take a look at the standings. So don't forget, this is the EU scene. This is their first 6 games. So currently, at the top, Kinstar and Hunter lead the pack.
Looking very nice with 17 points. That's a significant lead, actually, over second place. And really the top 3 in double digits, looking very, very strong here. Zura and Miz with a great game number 4, taking home first place in a few eliminations as well, looking great. Beehive and Bowman, of course, Bowman representing Wild Card, who did attend PAX West. Some big names, the Vic, Dementos in the top 10. Really been great to see.
Absolutely, man. Don't forget, look at how close these points are. I mean, everyone is fighting for more eliminations, for placements. At one point, literally can send you up through the standings, especially when you're trying to get not only prizes for yourself, but club points as well. I mean, everyone is basically playing their hearts out, laying everything out on the table. I mean, it's been a pleasure to watch the first 4 games.
Yeah, completely agreed. And would love to hear your thoughts as well. As he called it out earlier, in between breaks, we're able to catch up on our phones and on our timelines. Thank you for tagging us and engaging in conversations with us. But engage with the rest of the Fortnite community. Let us know what you think. Hashtag Fall Skirmish. And we did tell you, we want you to give your loyalty, your allegiance to your club. Who is it?
Yep.
Let us know using hashtag Fall Skirmish and hashtag any of your favorite clubs.
There you go.
Not hashtag any of your favorite clubs.
No, it's a hashtag. It would be like the Bush Bandits or Lucky Llamas or
We'll
just
get
to be clear.
some smart Alex in the chat. Hashtag any of your favorite clubs.
Yeah, now you're gonna do it because you said it too. Don't forget hashtag Fallout is the coolest. Hashtag nope. Don't do that one. Don't do that one. God.
Listen, are we engaging in war? Is this warfare? Is this love warfare? Is this what this looks like?
It's Twitter warfare.
Twitter warfare.
It's Twitter warfare.
Who gets more tweets?
Oh my!
Tweets loses it.
Listen, at the end of the day, if you guys all end up following Fallout, I mean, you're making the right decision. So,
unbelievable.
That's all that matters at the end of the day. You know what else matters? Match number 5 Fallout. We have 2 games left here in the EU scene. And then North America starts not long after. I mean, dude, let's talk about
your favorite place.
This is literally my favorite POI in the game right now. Literally my favorite place. I love it. It's just so cool. It's different. Tomato Head Count came back. It's all like, you know, what we talked about. There's like a following now because you can have the like the tomato, the normal tomato skin. You can have the tomato temple skin. You can have the tomato emote. There's a lot of things happening inside Fortnite.
Tomatoes everywhere, vegetables. It's awesome. Good stuff here. And an interesting situation here. We saw early on in game number 3 and 4, people didn't drop early. They dropped towards the end of the bus, which was really surprising, and they kind of scattered around the island. Similar thing happening here. You see where the arrows are starting to disperse and where they're headed now. It's always interesting to see where people drop. One team, Wailing Woods, 2 or 3 teams towards the risky side of the map, and of course, look at the light brown at the top right of your screen, dropping quite far away from each other. I like that strategy as well. And let's see, we finally are going to have some action and just a tiny bit of action at Tilted Towers. I believe that's 2 teams dropping Tilted. So good action about to ensue. Let's jump on board now with Kedzer as he has a mini shield and do a nice little dance here as well with a grappling gun and a pump shotgun to his name. But Porta Fortresses are alive. Let's go. On board with that Nyx right now of Fnatic. Of course, Fnatic, a phenomenal esports organization in the European side of things. They, of course, have invested heavily in Fortnite, and why not? One of the best games out right now. So much fun and so awesome from a competitive standpoint as well.
That's right. Taking a look at the current teams, Amar and Gabby are together here, trying to hunt down Etnix and take him down. He might be by himself here. Now, this is a tough spot to be in. 1, you land in a 1v2 situation. 2, you land in containers in a 1v2 situation. It's tough. I mean, there's really not many areas to build. The containers themselves have so much health and really don't offer too much metal. There's just a lot of things. I mean, look, they even had a Porta Fortress, so Amar has high ground basically for free, and now Gabby's just trying to find Etnix. She's down below trying to close in. But man, oh man, hopefully Fnatic can, or Etnix rather, can turn this whole thing around.
Yep, on board now with Amar. Sitting high side right now. It's an interesting standoff between Fnatic, Etnix, Gabby, and Amar here. I'm not sure if Etnix is the only one alive. I don't see the other member of Etnix or Fnatic here. Interesting situation.
Now don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in, this is our new spectator mode client. So we get to see things a little differently than most people right now. As you can tell, taking a look at basically breaking it down for you. If you see a player like Vitality Ads has a 27 near his name, if you see another player that has a 27, that's his dual teammate. So keep an eye out for that as well. Whenever you're watching the game, if you look up at the top right, we're also going to give you additional information and that you can basically see all the players in the vicinity, right? So if you look at top 3, you can very clearly see there's a team moving in toward Salty Springs, there's a blue team down below, and there's a team even further down below. So this is just to help with clarity and help you give you the most information we can. But look at this, Eric takes down a player there as Vitality Ads here in Salty Springs. But man, there's still a whole other dual team here. We see a dual team coming in from down south, quickly closing the gap. I mean, follow, the action's heating up here very quickly. Already 82 players left in the current lobby.
Definitely. Of course, Ads, a member of the Dusty Dog, so if you're a fan of Vitality or of Ads, maybe you should be cheering for the Dusty Dogs. Let us know, as mentioned. But yeah, a lot of interesting action here towards Salty Springs. We see Fnatic sitting towards bottom base. Of Big Blue House. We see Solary, top Blue House, with Jules, of course, posting up as well. Not really connected through a lot of cover there, so they can get knocked down pretty easily.
This is DK. He's near Shifty Shafts. Again, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the top right of your screen. There's so many duo teams here, and some are now making their way in. Got one player looks like he might be himself. That looks like Severin, who is a 1v2, but now DK is looking to assist here and potentially Vulture and our third party's eliminations. Dan Hizzle goes down. I mean, these are tight spaces where there's just people running around all over the place. Fallout.
Yeah, and it looks like Severin did go down all up to Chinkin. Now Chinkin with 9 HP is going to take out one. He has 2 eliminations right now, so 2 more, and he'll net himself a point. That, of course, is assuming Severin, his teammate, did not have any eliminations. So they're, of course, representing the Fortnites, and it looks like he's still alive right now. So well done right there from Chinkin.
And something we need to talk about, especially in this format with Hold the Throne, is whatever duo team has the most eliminations, they are called what's hold. They basically hold that throne, right? Not only is that in itself, at the end, whoever holds the most throne, the holds throne will get an additional prize bonus. But Yoshi here, and Kinstar hold the throne with the most eliminations. While the most eliminations is actually 11. Their duo team has 11 eliminations. They are currently the front runners holding the throne. I'm sorry, Kinstar and Hunter, rather. But man, I mean, 11 eliminations coming out from that duo. Unbelievable. I mean, that's why they're the guys at the top, right? They've got all the points they've racked up from eliminations. On top of that, they have 2 floating points. Now, if another duo team can get more than eliminations, they'll steal those 2 points, and those 2 points will be theirs. But we've only got 2 games left. I guess anything is possible if that's what the Skirmish series has taught us, is that literally it's not over until it's over.
It's so incredibly true. Morgoth's a good example of that at PAX West. Really coming out of nowhere with some great late game performances to take home first place and $250,000 for the 19-year-old. Unbelievable stuff here. Meanwhile, Bowman representing Wildcard alongside Alpha on a different team here in this game. He's going to pick up one. That's something that's been really cool to see as well. Teams, different organizations, teammates outside Skirmish are now under clubs, so it creates these really cool rivalries. Of course, some of them are on the same club. You know, you see Team Liquid, I think Poach and Vivid are on the same club in the North American side, but it's interesting. It's really interesting how he's going to break down.
Yeah, let's take a look at this replay. So look at this, he had 1 bullet left. Amar secures that elimination and has 1 bullet left. Unbelievable. Windwalker, though. So this is Artifacts. He's hurt.
Wow.
He's trying to secure this elimination. This could be 2 points. Oh! Unfortunately, Carnifex goes down to Lothar. I actually love Lothar. I'm going to give him a little quick shout out. He plays with eye tracking on. So whenever you Watch him. He's got like this what's almost like a bubble. It's like tracking screen where he's looking. The guy's amazing. He's a phenomenal player.
Wow.
I love him so much.
What type of technology that is? Is it Obi?
I honestly have no idea, and I plan to talk to him about it because it's whenever I watch his streams, I'm like, dude, this guy's so cool. Like his tracking is, I think, unmatched. Like he tracks so much all at once. It's insane.
Awesome, man. There's some great eye tracking technology out there. I know a couple are based over in Scandinavia, Sweden, and different areas there as well. So I wonder if he's coming from that region and knows about it. Perhaps the first mover. If you are sitting at home, if you want to differentiate yourself or do some cool things, eye tracking technology, that's awesome to hear.
Start with Lothar, man. Look him up. He's worth it, I promise. But, dude, look at this circle. We go north side, and a gigantic chunk has been taken out by the basically the empty space, the void, if you will. So basically, players have a lot less space to work with for this first circle, and then we'll have to see kind of how future circles present themselves.
Yeah, what you mean by that is a third of the circle almost is in the water. Is that clear? Yep, yeah, that's a great point. Not as much landmass to use in this first circle, so it's going to be interesting the end here. SK7 has been performing very well. Nice quick edit there. Storm's not going to do a lot of damage early on. I believe the first Storm's only 1 point of damage until it reaches its... Actually, no, 2... Yeah, 1 point of damage until it reaches its destination, and then it'll do 2 points of damage per second.
Let's check out this replay coming in real fast. Yoshi goes down to the double barrel, and now Beehive is looking to secure this elimination. Hopefully he was able to. Apostle still alive. Look at that. They've got the Rift on the go. They've got a grappler. Sops is just waiting for Apostle to top off. Then they'll just reposition with that Rift on the go.
Yep.
And then Genside Blackside was right outside, looking to gatekeep, but I don't think he knows that they've got a Rift on the go.
Apostle, Mr. Bowtie himself, as you call it out. He currently representing the Rift Raiders for fall skirmish. Now they're going to use that, not going to use that Rift to go. They're going to have to hold on to it. So Klinger, and he does have a, he does have a grappling gun, sorry. And he's able to use that grappling gun well. Look at these grenades. That's why they didn't use it. They have grenades to use. Apostle going to be in a world of hurt. He's going to go down. Nice job by Blacksu. Look at the reaction time from him to down Apostle. And now a 1 versus 1 fight. Sops versus Blacksu. Currently himself into this 1-by-1, editing his way out, and here comes the peak. Is he going to go for it after he reloads? Yes, he does. See, remote explosives out, and then the quick build and placement comes through as well. What I'm seeing right now out of Blacksu, great game. But the 1v1 is not over yet. Sops in a very intense situation here, and wow, what a 1 versus 1 this has been.
I mean, absolutely. The other thing to keep in mind is they're fighting in this anti-gravity zone. That's why Apostle went down, and look at that. Black Soul secures the elimination. So I think what, if you might have missed it, it happened so fast, but basically Apostle grappled into the zone, and when he turned around, he was mid-air, and that's why he went down. He tried to basically grapple over the head of Blackcell there, but Blackcell was prepared for it and basically used the anti-gravity zone to his advantage there.
And that was brilliant. I mean, talk about a playmaker. Blackcell in a 1 versus 2, getting grenade launched and comes out on top. And then in the 1 versus 1, I love the way he played that, how he built high ground, had those remote explosives, used them to his advantage offensively. Usually you see remote explosives used defensively to knock down cover, but it goes to show those things can be used in a variety of ways. So well played right there by Blackcell.
Absolutely. Now we are here, north side near Lazy Links. This Mitro, we got Povzy against Kinstar and Hunter. Now, keep in mind, these guys are not only in first place, they hold the throne with 11 eliminations total, combined. And get this, they've also held the throne since game 1. In game 1, they dropped 11 eliminations.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. That is life right now, okay? I don't know that Mitro wants to tangle Kinstar. I mean, look at that. Kinstar was prepared. He cracks back. Wow. Okay. I mean, all right. What do you do in this type of situation here? All out.
Yeah, you're damaged. You know Kinstar's a little damaged too, though. So you want to try, again, it always comes down to getting your high ground and hold that. And then working with your teammate to secure those eliminations and try to get as much damage as possible and really just chip away at the damage of your opponent. Play smart, play passive. Don't feel the need to rush into this, especially with a med kit at your disposal.
And look at that. So Kinstar just secured the elimination on Povzy.
Yeah.
Mitro is by himself right now in a 1v2 against not only the #1 spot, but they also hold the throne. So I guess they're the kings of the lobby, if you will.
Yeah, well said. I gotta take back my words earlier. I compared Kinstar to the likes of Vivid. Of course, very similar players. They're very consistent. But I'm thinking maybe like a Ghost Bizzle now. Just pure skill and raw slaying power and being able to get a lot of eliminations. 11 in game #1. That's just unbelievable.
Now the Storm is moving in. Fallout, they've got 30 seconds before the Storm overtakes this entire area. Mitro doing everything he can, trying to maintain that high ground. Oh, he gets a huge hit on Hunter.
Gosh.
Can he follow up though?
He has a campfire. Oh, he gets one elimination. He gets one knock. He's not gonna get the elimination though. Wow.
Hunter secures and downs Mitro. And look, he's going to place the
Can you believe
campfire. So he's going to be able to heal himself while also simultaneously picking up Kinstar. But here's the thing, man. They still have a long way to go. They have a little, and now the storm wall's going to close. It's going to tick for, no way. They've got a chug jug.
And I don't know. He's gonna be able to make it though. I think Hunter might be out of this one here. Oh, jump pad place. He's trying to use it as much as he can. And he's gonna get knocked out by the storm here. At least halfway through that. Chug Jug going to be in the hands here. Well played. So one of them will live to see another day. I believe one of them will get knocked by that storm.
Well, so what's good is, even though he started his way first, so even if he goes down, he can be picked up by Kinstar at the very edge of storm. No, he made it.
HP.
This is why these guys are at the top, Fallout. What is happening?
Resource management at its finest. He waited to the very last second of campfire just at his disposal and gets out. Both of them alive. Solary in a great position now, barely surviving. But meanwhile, we have Alpha and Dominate still alive in this one. Oh boy.
That was, oh wow. So someone boxed him in, bouncers and a trap. He drops him all the way down to 24. Tomo here is very hurt with only effectively 74 HP. Wow, that was the likes of Ollie Gamers, who was basically just playing with his food.
And I love this aggression from Ollie. You heard the trap get sounded, you know he's hurt, and you're playing with aggression trying to finish the elimination here. Smart decision, and Ollie is going to connect. Well done. And again, if you're an aspiring competitive Fortnite player, keep an eye on that. Resource management, you got to be aware of the situation, and you got to play with aggression. It's kind of like a hot and cold game. You got to know when to be hot and play with aggression. You got to know when to be the mouse and play a little more passive.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's a fantastic point. Players you can tell how good they are. Even if it's like a situation looks so awesome, like, oh yeah, I'll just jump down on this player. Sometimes there's just variables that you can't consider. Like, what if there's a guy that suddenly comes out, or there's a team that's waiting there, or any there. There's so many things to consider. And a lot of these players, you can tell, even if the situation looks favorable from our perspective and they don't engage, there's something they know that we don't.
Yep.
Or they believe there's something there that we may not see. And so, again, going back to EU, just being methodical players, really thinking through every single possible variable, really.
Yeah, well
it's crazy.
And on the flip side, too, with this brilliant spectator mode, there's a lot that we know as viewers and fans that the players don't know. We get to see everyone's health. We get to see a lot of things that players necessarily won't have that information. So really an awesome dynamic there. And the players that have the most awareness and understand the situation, I think, are able to profit. Team Liquid is great at that on the North American side. And you've seen it here on the European side as well. Look at this.
Ollie Gamers takes down a player there at range. But now that player's team, okay, so now the teammate starts to double back. Look at risky reels, man. It's a hot spot. The new safe zone has presented itself, and there's just players looking to make sure they can post up, fortify. Look at all of these teams fall out. There's so many.
Crazy. 9 grapples left with the grappling hook here from Black Suit, which is nice to see. Some mobility for him. And one thing I'll eye on now, as rotating through players, is their inventory loadout. All greens right now for Skite. But check out if they have mobility. Check out who has the Portafortresses, who has the Rift to Goes, and who has the weapons that really can help them succeed in the late game when mobility is so important. Of course, that's been a great theme of this entire broadcast, is the importance of mobility in the current metagame of Fortnite competitive.
That's right. Wildcard Alpha's got himself a grappler as well. And actually, I don't know if you saw it because we were there for a very brief time, but Blackso actually has a grappler and a Portafortress.
Oh, wow.
He's got both. Yep.
Huge. As long as he can stay alive now. So again, this changes how you want to play. If you have that loadout, you don't want to play aggressive. You want to play for late game because you have good late game items that can get you a placement win. So it's so awesome in Fortnite how there's so many variables that affect your decisions in every single moment. I know, back in competing, there were some teams that were amazing at that, knowing what to do in every scenario. Arctic, your peer, was one of the best in the world at that, knowing how to react with his teammates depending on the situation. And that's something that's really important. Almost any competitive title, but let alone Fortnite, was out with how many variables there are.
And man, look, we saw them for just a moment. Ginstar, he's poised right now. They have posted up. They're within the safe zone. They're ready to go. And now look, Wildcard Alpha is down low. Svenos is still very much alive here. I mean, here we go. We got about 50 seconds here before this storm starts to come in. And again, it's going to force players, if you look at the top right of your minimap, it's going to force players onto that mountain. If players are not prepared, or if they have not, set up shop, it's going to spell disaster for them, potentially.
Exactly. Talk about the importance of early rotations. Alpha now pushing up. I'm not sure if he recognizes someone's in that 1x1. Might have been his teammate. He's going to build himself. Speaking of 1x1s, that's 1x1 himself. Not sure if he has a teammate alive here.
I believe that is Wildcard's teammate. If not, wow, this person is brave.
Interesting situation here. Meanwhile, Svenis, such a reputable name on the European side of things. Let's see what he can do. We haven't seen him with many top 5 finishes yet. This could be the difference here in game number 5. Keep in mind, game 5, game 6 are just as valuable as game 1, game 2. It doesn't matter where you're at now in the standings. It's how you perform and how you finish in game 5 and game 6 that matters the most.
I could not have said it better myself, my friend, but we're going to start winding down here as now the circle is going to start forcing players together. It's going to start bottlenecking players as well. I mean, I know for a fact they probably don't want to be fighting in Wailing Woods, man. Trees are difficult to fight around, especially because you can't build as high as you'd like to. So they're doing the thing, which is clearing out the trees preemptively. Smart, I think.
Yeah, completely agreed. In that Wailing Woods area especially. Good decisions now. Of course, that hill, or that final circle, will be rotating momentarily, so we'll see after 25 seconds where that's going to go. But on board with Harmony right now. Build himself a 1x1 all the way up. Good edits. And he's in a safe spot here. Looks like he'll just be posting up.
16 seconds here before we get a new zone. Now Fallout. Well, I mean, what should players be looking to do here in this spot with 32 players left in the lobby?
Yeah, honestly, at this point, you want to wait out those 3 seconds, and as soon as you see where the next circle is going to go, control your fate and get center circle. Here's these players that are already there, which is going to give them a big 1-up. But let's see if the rest can get there as quick as possible. And for an early rotation, or will they decide to stay back? And keep in mind, though, a couple items can help. If you have a rift to go, you can maybe stay a little more delayed, let everyone rotate. And like we said earlier, the analogy of ants or traffic in London. We want to see the late rotations come through sometimes so you avoid that mess. Maybe wait for rush hour to end.
And now we've got a minute before this storm starts to get overtake this area. And now we got to make a decision.
Look at this, the beautiful outlines of the players.
Yep.
I love it.
And that's what this spectator mode client allows us to see, is now we can actually see players through the walls, the structures, whether they are built. We can even see, what they're doing, if they're crouched, if they're drinking a mini, etc.
Great.
Really helpful.
Absolutely amazing. What weapon they have out, too. What item they have out. It's great.
Now 40 seconds. I mean, look at how many players are north side, right? They have to start making their way not only over that mountain, but through the trove of players up on that mountain itself.
Jeez.
And then back into Wailing Woods for cover, where there's, I mean, look at this.
Wow.
Look at the eye in the sky. Look how many people have already built inside Wailing Woods.
And are continuing to build. I mean, it's just...
This is going to be nuts. Oh, there's a Porta Fortress up top. As you can see, looks like a UFO. Oh my goodness.
Craziness. This is awesome. 32 people alive still, so the action is sure to break down as the rotations are going to start coming through in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Everyone's going to be starting to rotate in that circle. A lot of early rotations did come through. Fights about to ensue. Ghost Gaming still alive there on the bottom right. You saw as he was peeking just a little bit ago, the Vic, of course, and Miz, who won last game, still alive as well, but not a lot of HP to his name.
Players are scrambling right now, Followed. Everyone's trying to do the best they can to get safe, but look at that. Marwana knocks out a player. Ghost Camo knocks out Marwana. That's only been 2 players total that have gone down. There's still 31 left. There's still players coming in. Razor now finds elimination, knocks out Skewer and eliminates him right there with a shotgun then a rifle. I mean, this is going to get nuts pretty quickly. There's still 30 players. Oh my gosh, there's 30 players left in this lobby in this tiny little space.
Can you believe it? And look at these catacombs that have been created now. What a brilliant game. I haven't seen them. I've been looking. I haven't seen a lot of mobility items. I haven't seen a lot of shockwaves or porta fortresses. So keep an eye at the bottom right of your screen when we rotate through players. What do they have at their disposal to use? Harmy's going to pick out one. That's going to be Mech, who gets taken out.
And I believe now we're down to still 28 players. Take a look at the next circle. So it is going to move outside into the storm. And it's still within Wailing Woods.
Yep.
Look at this, shots. Gravel landing a nice 30 there on the shield, but we've got 20 seconds, and then everyone is going to have to be forced to move here. I mean, what do you think? What's going to happen? Can you make predictions here? We've got 15 seconds.
Honestly, this is almost unpredictable at this point. It's been really, the gameplay has been amazing. Sackener of Secret, so Dementos' teammate gets taken out, but I believe Dementos is still alive. Crabble, of course, who's playing with Tinny. Not sure if Tinny's still alive, though. Is going to throw some nice offensive remote explosives. He gets some good damage in there. Now the rotations have to come. And look at this setup here. One member pushing up. That's Crabble, who's in a pretty dangerous spot. Svenos, the legend himself, is currently sitting on high ground in a good position to win this game.
On top of that, Soulry Hunter goes down, so Kinstar is left by himself right now in a lobby, left with 21 players. That's 20 players he has to make his way through to try and secure Victory out.
And if I'm Svenos right now, I want to stay patient. You have high ground. There's still 20-something people alive. You want to let them all fight it out. Don't get baited to go low side and fight like we saw happen a couple times, a couple games ago. And I like what I'm seeing out of Svenos. He is a veteran at this point in Fortnite, competing at a high level for such a long time. We're going to see him hold his high ground and make the right decision.
Oh, Tinny goes down there, but the thing to keep in mind with Svenos is that he really doesn't have ammo. He needs to make an elimination and hope that they have ammo reserves, because he's running very low. And right here, Crabble is in a 1v1 engagement. Oh man, the storm is going to start moving again here in 15 seconds.
Look at the edits from Crabble to come through. He's going to get a shot from above. That might be Svenos on the high side. Crabble now does have a med kit at his disposal. He wants to hold on to those med kits in case he gets off in a heal off. He's going to pop those minis instead. Smart decision from Crabble. Hold on to those meds. You might need a more dangerous spot here. 16 people. And Kinstar's going to get damaged up, but he's still alive. So Soulry Kinstar still in this one. A couple knocks do come through. Svenos at the bottom left of your screen does get taken out. And actually, no, he's knocked down, so he's still up. Miz gets taken out by the storm, and 14 people remain in this one.
Kinstar doing his best to keep himself alive. There's so many players left here. You just watch the way he's doing that. He finds elimination, but oh no!